And welcome to the North Platte Catholic Schools YouTube page. Tanner Struckman, the voice of the Irish, getting ready to bring you tonight's game. North Platte St. Pat's and Chase County are both warming up right now. We're about 34 minutes away from kickoff. As you can see on the YouTube, it is a little dark. We might actually have some light showers moving in here in just a little bit. It's not much, but there is enough that it might get just a little bit wet out there. So if you're coming out to the football field, you might consider bringing something to wipe your seat down because it might get just a little bit wet. Not much. Again, there's a little cell off to the north and mainly to the east of us that just producing some light rain, I would imagine, but not a whole lot. It won't last. By the time kickoff comes, it'll be dry, but it might wet your seat a little bit. Again, kickoff coming up at 7 o'clock Central. We'll open up our Quick Stop pregame show on KODY 1240 AM, 106.1 FM here in about 5 minutes. And also on the North Platte Catholic Schools YouTube page, we welcome you tuning in here today for North Platte St. Pat's and Chase County. High school football coming up. We'll open up our pregame in just a few minutes. Welcome to a cloudy and maybe soon a little bit wet Knights of Columbus Field. It is North Platte, St. Pat's, and Chase County on a football Friday night here for just the second home game of the year for the North Platte, St. Pat's Irish, and only their fifth game of the season so far. They take on the Chase County Longhorns here this evening. Welcome into our Quick Stop pregame show. I am Tanner Struckman, glad to be with you tonight. Thrilled, in fact, to be from Knights of Columbus Field for the fifth game of the year for the Irish, who sit at 3-1 on the year. Chase County enters 0-5. The opponent here in a C2-7 district ball game here between the Irish and the Longhorns. St. Pat's has not beaten Chase County in this renewed scheduling with these two teams. Last 2 years, the Irish have lost, and I think both times they'd probably say, we felt like we kind of could have had that one. The disappointing finishes on both of them, and so they're hoping to play payback here at home at Knights of Columbus Field and continue their undefeated district streak so far. They got a big win last week over Bridgeport, 17-14, to put them off on the right foot in the district. But tonight, the Longhorns are in town, and St. Pat's and the Longhorns will do battle here in about 28 minutes. Again, we're looking at maybe some darker clouds off to the north. I'm not saying it's going to rain a ton, but we might see some sprinkles. We might, maybe, see some light showers. So if you're coming out to the field, your seat might be a little bit wet. You might bring a blanket to wipe it off. I don't think it's going to be a lot, and by kickoff, it's probably going to be pretty much done, but it should be starting here relatively soon. We'll see. Hard to tell if it's going to be just a sprinkle or if we get any sort of a light shower. There might be a drop or two. That could be it. Who knows by the end of it. But either way, we're ready to set up for football. The field's in great shape. It's been a gorgeous day here in North Platte and a great matchup between the Irish and the Longhorns coming up from Knights of Columbus Field. Our Quick Stop pregame show just getting underway. Quick Stop just around every corner, fast, easy, and convenient with 6 locations throughout North Platte. Also locations in Ogallala, Hershey, Grant, and Imperial, where Chase County is. Also brand new in Brule, Nebraska. On your way to everywhere, it is Quick Stop. Again, we'll keep it going. 27 minutes away from kickoff between the Irish and the Longhorns. We'll chat with Coach Kevin Dodson when we return. You're listening to North Platte St. Pat's football on Husker Radio's KODY.
Uniqueness goes far beyond the amazing menu. Atmosphere is sophisticated, yet have fun at the
Is back at home for game number 2. Onslaught to start off the district with one of the best teams in the district in Bridgeport. We knew it was going to be a slugfest, and you earn a 17-14 gritty win. Maybe even steal a win there. You were down early and down at half, but really some big start to the second half, and you eke one out there, 17-14, holding on. Your defense with some stands there late. That'd be a nice win to drive home with.
Yeah, absolutely. And we knew going in that was going to be a real barn burner. Bridgeport was undefeated coming into that game and in the driver's seat for the district. And so we felt like if we could go in there, sneak out a win, that we'd be in good position for for the remainder of the season. And so, that was a big W for us.
How big was that field goal before half? Because that seemed to kind of jumpstart it. Really, Joe's return to set that up. That got you on the board. Got you. You got points, and then you got the ball in the start of the second half. It just felt like that kind of turned the tide.
Yeah, absolutely. A number of things happened there that the momentum changed. So Joe gets a big return, and I think more than the return was how he finished that run. So he lowered his shoulder and ran over one of their best players, the Faisler kid, and so I thought our sideline started to perk up at that point in time, and then you go to the field goal, and Josh Davies makes a great catch and put back down on the pad. I don't know if you noticed that, but the snap was a little high, so he did a great job of going up and getting it set. And then Alex kicks that ball and just enough to get over that field goal post, and that really gave us momentum going into halftime. We weren't happy with our performance in the first half, and we challenged our kids on their effort level and their consistency, and I thought that did get better in the second half.
Yeah, clear change in the second half on the ground game. I mean, your first couple drives look completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. We come out, we run that ISO. We had to talk about our blocking schemes. I think we were a little absent-minded in the first half on what our assignments were, and so the boys got that changed, and I thought they came out and really hammered it in that first offensive series to establish what the second half was going to be like, and I thought the boys blocked well in that first series. In the second half, I thought the guys ran hard, so they responded exactly the way we wanted them to.
Yeah, obviously your defense then holding. I mean, it was kind of different points. That was the point of the offense, early second half. They came alive. And then your defense, you held them 3 times there at the end.
Yeah, I thought defensively they really stepped up. We had taken away some big opportunities for them. And to close it off with an interception there at the end was a big feather in our cap.
So many times we talk special teams winning games, and, I mean, it certainly impacted this one big. Obviously, Alex's field goal, you get a kickoff recovery on a fumble lost. But Teagan's punting, certainly flipped the field a bunch.
Yeah, Teagan's really been doing a nice job. He's got quite a leg on him, and that's huge when you can flip the field like that and pin a team like Bridgeport deep and make them earn everything that they get. And we felt like that's what we did there in the second half. We really made them earn all their yards, and we were proud of the boys and how they finished that game. One of the things that we look at, we go back and we look at that and we think, okay, this was really good, but we're just lacking that consistency in all 3 phases. Bridgeport had a big kick return on us too. They gave them a little momentum. So we really want to work on that this week and be more consistent in all 3 phases.
I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, obviously, there was a tragedy on the Bridgeport team the next day with the loss of one of their players who played against you, and I'm sure your thoughts are with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh Warren, he's a ball player, and we talked about him. We've talked about him for 2-3 years now. Really good football player, and our hearts and our prayers go out to the Bridgeport community. Just a heartbreaking thing, and something that is very tragic for any school to have to deal with. And so that certainly put everything in perspective. So sometimes we put a lot of emphasis on football games, and an event like that happens, and it makes us really reconsider what our priorities are, and especially as parents and as coaches. You just want to hug your players, hug your kids, and tell them you love them.
North Platte St. Pat's back at home. Chase County, the opponent for week number 6, I believe. Coming up from Knights of Columbus Field, we'll preview the Longhorns after this.
Ollie, you need to clean up your fishing and hunting gear. It's everywhere.
I'm out of room. I don't have anywhere to put it.
Get some storage at Another Storage. They have sizes for everything.
I already have some there.
Well, get another. Another Storage. 532-1332.
School is in session, and we couldn't be happier. I'm Gwen Covey, Enrollment Director for the North Platte Catholic Schools. This fall, we welcome students back to high school, junior high, elementary, and preschool. Many of these students will be on our campus for the next 15 years. The idea of starting together as little leprechauns and finishing as St. Pat's grads is truly priceless. At North Platte Catholic Schools, we are not just a school system. We are a value system. We are a family. Join us and experience the difference. Enrollment is always open. Call 532-1860. 74.
Farmers, as harvest gets into full swing, Nebraska Public Power District, together with your local public power utility, reminds you to stay safe around electricity. Stay at least 30 feet from power lines and poles when operating or moving equipment. Use a spotter whenever possible. Inspect power cords and connections. Don't use them if they are worn or damaged, and keep them away from wet areas. For a free harvest safety guide, visit nppd.com. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
Welcome back on our Quick Start pregame show. Coach Kevin Dodson. Chase County, a team that comes in with a record winless so far, 0-5. But I know they have your attention for the last couple of years. Those are two games that I feel like they maybe. We talk about you sneaking one out in Bridgeport. I feel like they probably snuck the last two away from you. I know this is a team you want to get back, and you're not overlooking them.
No, absolutely not at all. And, we reminded the boys of that. We thought the last 2 years that we had a pretty good chance to be successful against them, and they beat us both times. And so I think that comes down to who wants to win this game. You can't look at their record. They played a pretty tough schedule, a lot of C1 schools. Valentine is a C2 school, but they are a C1 school that opted down. So they've had a pretty brutal schedule to start this their season off. So we can't look at that record and use that as a measuring gauge. So we know they're going to come in here. They're a conference opponent and everything else, and we have a good rivalry going with Chase County, and I think it'll be a great ball game.
Ryan Bernhardt is now the new quarterback, and boy, he kind of becomes a running back because they use him. I mean, he'll throw, but they use him more than anybody by far in the backfield to run. I mean, there's got to be somebody, I'm sure, keeping an eye on the quarterback at all times.
Yeah, everything goes through him. The running, and like you said, I think he's at 103 carries already this year, and so they certainly think highly of him and want to make sure that he has the ball and can get him in the open field. So certainly he's going to be on our radar, but then they can complement him with the running back that has good speed and get to the outside, and they're going to put some stress on your defense.
Does that mean maybe a shadow defensively for him? Or
well, there's a lot of things that we look at, but that certainly our kids are aware of that, and we've put a lot of emphasis on him this week. And so, you can't forget about everyone else, but you certainly have to take 14 out of the equation.
North Platte St. Pat's hosting Chase County here at home, second game of the district. Those two games last 2 years, I mean, what did you pencil it on? Or what was the reason you felt like you didn't get those wins? Because I think you probably said after both games you felt like you probably should have won.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. You go back and you look at those. Obviously, after a loss, you're looking at effort level, you're looking at assignments, and sometimes we execute it well, sometimes we didn't. One of the things I think is real important is that we don't take them lightly based on that record that they have coming in this year. This is a game. Imperial, Chase County, St. Pat's. This goes back years and decades, and it's always been a battle. And we get their best shot, and we hope to give them our best shot.
You're getting a little healthier. Obviously, you didn't have Jack last week, but it sounds like he should get some time today. I know Gavin's out, but obviously you want to be, I'm sure, careful still, though. You're potentially looking forward to a postseason if you can get your district one. But obviously you got to win those games. So it's kind of that balancing act of, well, we want to certainly have them out there, but we want to probably keep them protected a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And this week, I'd say we try to split that between Jack and Alex at quarterback, and so I think they both shared about 50-50 on reps at quarterback. Obviously, we like to have Alex in the backfield as a fullback, and feel like we're more explosive as an offense with him back at that position and Jack at quarterback. So that's kind of what we'll start with. We'll see how things go and how Jack holds up.
If you could get Alex back there, that obviously lightens the load a little bit of Jackson too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alex is a big, strong kid that runs hard, and then you have Jackson back there, who's kind of the same build, might be a little bit more elusive and quick off the ball, but it certainly helps, especially with the type of offense we're running, and we need that fullback to kick out ends. We need him to isolate on blocks, and so I think with both those back there, it complements us very well.
North Platte St. Pat's, Chase County, game 2 of the districts, and coming up from Knights of Columbus Field. Coach, thanks for the time.
Hey, thanks, Tanner.
More pregame right after this.
For thorough news reporting by experienced journalists, read the North Platte Bulletin. Each of our core staff has from 7 to 20 years of experience in news gathering, and our roots go all the way back to the letter to the bulletin that launched the renowned World War II canteen. It's affordable, colorful, and you can keep up with the commissioners, city council, schools, civic groups, sports, courts, and entertainment. Look for the bulletin's news bents in restaurants, too. Connecting with us is as simple as saying, hey, Google, the North Platte Bulletin.
When it comes time to honor the life of your loved one, it's all about the relationship. Adams and Swanson Funeral Home will help you celebrate that bond with assisting you and your family with all services, ceremonies, grief support, and pre-planning. Learn more by visiting adamswanson.com or by calling 5...
Welcome back here to Knights of Columbus Field. Tanner Struckman with you on Husker Radio's KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM. North Platte St. Pat's getting ready to take on the Chase County Longhorns here on a beautiful Friday night. And I had mentioned earlier in the pregame there might be just a little sprinkle. We're getting a few sprinkles here, but I think that'll be short-lived, and we should get back to some pretty beautiful evening here in just a little bit. Quick stop just around every corner. Fast, easy, and convenient with 6 locations throughout North Platte. Also locations in Ogallala, Hershey, Grant, and Imperial. On the road to everywhere it is. Quick stop. I welcome in my partner, Mr. Bill O'Malley, for another broadcast. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening to you. It's a nice kind of a, seems like going to be a pretty cool evening, and should be a great night for football.
It should be homecoming week here at North Platte Catholic Schools. They crowned the homecoming king and queen earlier. A name you're familiar with. Mr. Logan O'Malley and Sophia Krondak win the homecoming king and queen earlier, so they got that out of the way. Now they get ready for a dance later on that I think you're chaperoning, right?
Sure. I don't.
I'm pretty sure you are.
Yeah, we got the gym all decorated. Look like kids ought to be able to have fun in there.
There you go. Football game to be played first, though. The St. Pat's Irish 3-1 against the Chase County Longhorns 0-5. The Irish, of course, coming off of probably one of the better games I remember over the last few years. I mean, there's been some close games, but the Irish haven't won a lot of those close games over the last couple of years. 17-14 last week over Bridgeport. A really nice victory.
Really a gratifying win in so many ways. You're playing a good team. You're playing them on the road. You're playing them a little bit shorthanded personnel-wise, and just a fantastic effort by the guys a week ago. And I would definitely agree that one of the best wins over the past several years.
Irish again wins 17-14. They got down. It didn't look good early, 6-0, and it was 6-0 for quite a while. It started out 6-0. Bridgeport on an 11-play drive got it out front 6-0. And then Irish got a big punt return from Joe Hyriggs late in the second quarter, got him down to the 21. They didn't go anywhere, but they kicked a 37-yard field goal by Alex Davies to make it 6-3. That was the momentum going into the half. They got the ball to start the second half and had a 55-yard touchdown run in 2 plays from Jackson Roberts. Took the lead, got a stop defensively on a 4th down stand, then went down and scored again on what might be the best drive of the season, an 11-play, 63-yard drive. At that point, they were up 17-6. They then recovered the kickoff after it bounced off of the front line of a Bridgeport Bulldog, and you kind of thought there, boy, if you can go score you're feeling really good about yourself. They were unable to do so. They gave up touchdown to Bridgeport. All of a sudden, it's a ball game. Irish had 3 punts at the end of that game. Could not seal it with a long drive or any points, but their defense did the job. They got a turnover and a fumble lost on 2 of the last 3 drives. They end it with that INT by Joe Heirigs. They get the victory 17-14. Limited offense, though. Kind of been the theme this year. It's been big plays or not a whole lot else. I can think of really 2 long drives that kind of really are Irish football drives. The first one of the season, and then that 11-play drive in the third quarter last week against Bridgeport. It has been pretty tough sledding for that Irish run game, and obviously they were without Jack Hess last week. That limited the run game considerably, and the pass game too.
Yeah, and to make a little bit of a baseball analogy, since we're in the baseball postseason, it really felt like the Irish had that one big inning right in the middle of the game, going from the last possession of the first half into the first two possessions of the second half, where they really made some hay offensively, and outside of that, it was just a real dogfight.
They had a total of just 139 from Jackson Roberts, 167 total yards in that ball game. It was limited. That's their lowest in 2 years of offensive production. But Jackson Roberts had a big day, a career-high 28 carries. Irish only had 28 yards outside of what Jackson Roberts did. They were a one-headed monster in a big way. And negative plays. They had 16 runs, Bill, that went for negative yardage. I'm sure that was a challenge to this offensive line this week.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And that is difficult, but I think they were a little limited in terms of what they were going to be able to do in variety of play calls. And so Bridgeport was really able to key in on that. But I think on the other side of it, it was really huge for the Irish to be able to do such a great job defending Bridgeport's run game, and a really formidable run game with kind of a bigger, strong, physical back, complemented by kind of a quick back that we compared a little bit to Gavin Nutter in terms of his skill set and Fessler. So the Irish did a great job against the Bridgeport run game, which I think was really key. Bridgeport was able to make some big plays in the passing game, but overall maybe weren't able to control the ball as much as they could have had they had any success in the run game.
One positive, special teams was really good. Big punt return by Joe Heirigs. They had a huge field goal that was a career long for Alex Davies. They had punting from Tegan Sonoman, averaged 38 yards per punt. He had 2 inside the 20, including 1 down at the 1. Special teams overall really was a huge part of that game. And turnovers. Irish had forced 3, didn't give up any. They've only given up 3 all year, all in one game. So that's been one really good aspect for the Irish, and it was a big district win. They're looking for their three-peat in their district. This was a huge step against one of the better teams in the district. Tonight, Chase County Longhorns, who entered the district for the first time. They were non-district opponents the last 2 years. Having a tough start so far. New head coach Nathan Gaswick, they're 0-5. They lost a really good senior class, 10 of them from a year ago that graduated on. And they played a tough schedule. Coach Dodson referenced that. They played a C1 schedule almost all the way through. Shadron, who's pretty good, 26-0. Sydney, 27-18. That's the one that they probably want back. Ogallala, they lost 25-18. Mitchell, they lost 56-8, but Mitchell's a team that's undefeated at this point. And then they lost to Valentine last week, who really is a C1 size school playing in C2. They're opting down. Lost to them last week 14-0. I mean, really, you got the 2 best teams in C1, probably out west in Shadron and Mitchell. And then you have Ogallala, who looks pretty good this year. Sydney and Valentine, those were obviously their closer games and couldn't get either of them done. Limited offense. That's the thing that stands out. Just 9 points per game. They're really shorthanded. Only 28 on the roster, 31 last year, and 4 seniors is all. So they are really counting on young players. One, though, leader is their junior quarterback, Ryan Bernhardt. You're going to hear his name a ton, a lot, everywhere, because not only does he throw quite a bit, but he also runs more than anybody, without a doubt. He has 103 carries this year, the next most, 26. So you're going to see a lot of design plays for Ryan Bernhardt out of the quarterback position. You're going to see options. You're going to see zone reads. You're going to see quarterback boots, quarterback draws. Any way they can get 14 the ball and have him start running.
Yeah, in visiting with somebody from Chase County, he might be a little nicked up, so we'll have to see how that goes with Bernhardt, who is a real key guy for him.
That would be he is suited tonight. I see that, and he did, but yeah, he carries the ball a lot. 20 again, averaging 20 plus carries per game as the quarterback. That's tough to do, and so obviously they feel a lot of what they can do goes through number 14. In fact, he 57% of the team's carries are his. You're not going to find that at the quarterback position very often. The Irish 4-3-1 taking on the 0-5 Chase County Longhorns. Coming up here from Knights of Columbus Field, we did have a couple light sprinkles. Most of that, I think, is gone already. It might have cooled it off a little bit. Probably going to dip down to a fairly chilly night, but it's going to be perfect weather for football. We're going to pause. National Anthem is coming up, and we'll have kickoff between St. Pat's and Chase County on the way as this wraps up our Quick Stop pregame show. Here we go from Knights of Columbus Field. Tanner Struckman, Bill O'Malley, thrilled to be with you tonight to bring you St. Pat's football taking on the Chase County Longhorns. And we welcome in all the folks that are watching on the North Platte Catholic Schools YouTube page as well. A little more wind, pushing some light rain, just sprinkles, I will say, into our press box here from the north. And it's going to be short-lived, at least the moisture is. The wind might stick around, but it won't be raining a whole lot here this evening. But just a little bit. We haven't had a sprinkle in a month. I mean, it's been a while. We could use it.
It's been tough to come by, I'll tell you.
St. Pat's again 3-1, taking on Chase County, who was 0-5. Mentioned new coach. He's a graduate of Chase County, 2005. Nathan Gaswick coached 8 years at Dodge City, Kansas. A former assistant with this program, now taking over. What is a proud football program? I mean, a program that's qualified for the playoffs 28 times in their school history. So this is kind of a rebuild year for the Longhorns. But I mean, you've seen them in basketball, and usually Chase County is a strong team with, I remember watching them in JV basketball. They always kind of stand out. They're physical and strong, and they usually translate on the football field.
Yeah, I think that's just the point I was going to make, is that over the years, Chase County's always been a highly formidable football team, and particularly from a physicality standpoint. Yep.
Chase County in the away whites with black pants, little orange trim down the side, black helmets. St. Pat's in the home greens with gold numerals, gold pants, gold helmets. It is 6:59 Central Time. You're listening to KODY North Platte with translator K291BW North Platte and 106.1 FM. Next time you're hungry, and maybe after the game, go to Dave's Place in North Platte for the best homemade pizza and wings, dine-in, carry-out, and online ordering available. It is Dave's Place in North Platte. The Irish will be kicking off left to right on your radio dial to get this one underway. We welcome in Jack Hess back, as after missing last week, he'll do the kicking duties. That's a good sign for the Irish, having number 10 out there. Certainly kicking, too. That bodes well for the quarterback position for him. I know the Irish are going to love having him back, and Alex Davies going to be back in his traditional spot at fullback here as Chase County, this is a north wind, so it's going to maybe just push the ball south. The kickoff is end over end, shorter, and it's taken at the 11-yard line, far side by Chase Rowley across the 20, and there he's tackled. Josh Davies makes the play. Number 7 finds a hit, and the Irish kickoff return team coverage has been fantastic. They're averaging just giving up 13 yards per return. That one went for about 9, and the Longhorn offense starts at their own 20.
Yeah, really a nice play there by Josh Davies. I might add the JVs have been having a really great season, and Josh had an outstanding game on Monday against Broken Bow.
Here's the junior Ryan Bernhardt under center, and he'll turn and give it right side. Actually, I think he's playing running back right now, and he stood up. He is the running back, number 14 taking over that. He's been the quarterback all year, and he doesn't get anything. In fact, he loses a yard. They want to get 14 the ball locked, and you said maybe banged up a little bit. Well, he's going to see the running back position. Lost one there, trying to catch the number on who's quarterbacking in this one with a power eye set, familiar set, 2nd and 11. Here's the fullback up the middle, and he gets a bit of a push up near the 23, about 23. A gain of 4. The quarterback, Carter Librant, a sophomore, 5'11", 145 pounds. The carry there went to the fullback, which I think is Tristan Ferguson, 61. Is that right?
Well, it could be. I know he's a big physical guy.
He's a big guy. He got about 3 yards, maybe 4. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 from their own 23. 2 backs shift to the left. Here's a sweep left this side, but it's dropped by the running back, Bernhardt. He'll have to go back to the 14-yard line and gobble it up there. It'll be a big loss, and it'll be a 3 and out for this Chase County Longhorn offense getting started. It was Tristan Ferguson, I believe, the senior who had the fullback position there. That one, a low pitch, and couldn't be handled by Bernhardt. Now he'll have to go back to punt for the Longhorns. Rough start for Chase County.
I think there you're probably seeing the coaches figuring that Ferguson's their most physical blocker, and if you put him in there at fullback, you can keep him in front of the ball as much as possible.
Here's a low punt angled near sideline. Joe Heirigs was back deep with Will Motes, and he's going to have to let it go out of bounds, and it'll be Irish football here from their own 46-yard line is where they'll mark it here from Knights of Columbus Field on a little windy night. 10-19 opening quarter, and a punt for the Chase County Longhorns. Here comes the Irish offense.
Yeah, just a tough play there for Joe. He tried to play that. It was just kind of a low running punt, and it just kept drifting away from him. He just couldn't get a square play on it, and made the right decision just letting it go out of bounds.
Nathan Motes left tight end. Then you have Tegan Soneman, Landon Nichols, Sam Scholes over center for this Irish offense. Trayton White and Brecken Erickson on the right side of that offensive line. Justin Troll, your right tight end. The junior quarterback, Jack Hess, pitches left side, layers a big hole on the left side for Jackson Roberts. He's out inside the 40. Now he breaks a tackle, needs one more block, gets it, and he's gone! The Irish put a touchdown on their opening play of the ball game. A 54-yard run by Jackson Roberts gets it going for North Platte St. Pat's. They lead 6-0.
Yeah, really fun to see Alex Davies back at I think what's probably a little more of a natural position for him. He did a very admirable job the last couple of games playing quarterback, but he did a great job out there on the perimeter. Had the block that really sprung Jackson for the touchdown there.
And a heady play by Justin Schroll downfield to not lay the smack down, and he had a block where he could have really lit somebody up, but he just kind of got in front and made sure he wasn't picking up a late block. On the extra point, there is a flag to stop it. I think maybe a Longhorn came tight on this side. Biesecker racing across gets called for the penalty offsides. It'll move the Irish a yard closer, and they'll try the extra point again. Davies 13 of 14 on the year. Now they might come out and say we're going for 2? Coach
Well, it's
Dodson going to
tempting,
have a
certainly.
conversation here. And why not? Did he hand he did. He handed off the little stand that they put the ball on, and out comes the offense here. They'll go for 2 from the 1-yard line. So 10:08 to go, opening quarter. The Irish defense get a stop defensively, 3 and out. And then Jackson Roberts, 54 yards, and big play offense has been the story of the year for St. Pat's. And Hess will go under center with a power eye set now. Hess will turn. He'll hand it off Roberts' right side. He's in for the 2-point conversion. And St. Pat's has an 8-0 lead after 1 play from scrimmage here offensively. 10:08 to go in quarter number 1. A timeout brought to you by Fortified Group. It's St. Pat's 8, Chase County 0. Welcome back to Knights of Columbus Field. Jack Hess kick taken from the 5-yard line. Rowley looking for the near edge. Shakes off one tackler, 15 to the 20. He'll be tackled there at the 23. Pretty good return there by Rowley to get all the way to the near side and get out to the 23. And that's where Chase County will start their second drive. Here the ball game, 9:59 to play in the opening quarter. St. Pat's up 8-0. We saw Ryan Bernhardt as the tailback for Chase County. A bit of a change here. And the quarterback again, number 15, Carter Librand, a sophomore. This is not a big offensive line in front of, well, it's a pretty decent sized offensive line. 205, 200, 205, 235, and 240 for Librand, who starts from his own 24-yard line. He'll turn, he'll give it. Right side, it's Ryan Bernhardt, slips initial tackle, gets across the 25 to the 26. It'll bring up second down and maybe 8 to go after a gain of 2, 9:50 here in the first quarter. St. Pat's on defense.
Yeah, it looks like that their primary ball carrier, obviously Bernhardt, who you had said has been operating from the quarterback spot. Maybe it's a rib issue. He's got that kind of a heavy flak jacket on, it looks like.
Second down and 8 from their own 26-yard line, under 9.5 to play. Tight power eye formation. Sweep right side for Bernhardt, looking for the edge. Cut back inside now to the 25. Now he'll try to cut back to the near side. He'll be ankle tackled. Somebody raced in, at least tripped him up enough. That was Jack Hess. And then he's finished off by the D-line. He loses the 2 he'd gotten. It'll bring up third down and 10.
Yeah, really a great play there by Jack, because on the far side there, away from us, Trayton White and I think it was Alex Davies there had completely cut off the point of attack, and he reversed field, and that's Jack coming clear up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Bernhardt can throw, but obviously he's the tailback. Power eye again this time on third down and 10. They split the two backs in front of him. Now they run a counter to the near side by the middle back. He comes off the near side. That's Rowley getting to the 29 before he's brought down by Jackson Roberts and Landon Nichols. Josh Davies in there as well, and that will bring up fourth down. Able to get about 4 or 5 yards there to Rowley on his first carry, but another punt for Chase County.
Yeah, and on Bernhardt's first punt, it stayed pretty low, but if one gets up in the air here, it's going to carry across the field a little bit. The wind's pretty gusty.
Joe Hyriggs, Wilmots back at their own 45. Snap back to Bernhardt. This one's low again, but catchable right to Hyriggs. He'll set up the wall. He'll fake it near side. Now has the wall on the far side. This just needs a couple blocks. Hyriggs at the 40. Hyriggs 35. Gets a late push out there. Good play on the far side by the Chase County defender. He was the last man standing to knock 13 out. If Joe's able to cut back in the middle of the field, get away from him, he's gone. But still a pretty good return all the way down to the Chase County 32, where St. Pat's will start their second drive.
Tanner, I don't know if you noticed that, but it looks like maybe Coach Braithwaite is really coach those kids to show their hands on those blocks at the top of the wall. They all had their hands kind of straight out in front of them to show that the initial contact was being made with their hands.
First play went for a 54-yard touchdown. Split back behind Jack Hess. He'll turn. He'll run a dive play for Alex Davies, right side. Alex to the 30. Cut back inside to the 25. Still dancing. Alex up to the 20-yard line. Boy, Alex doing a lot of side-to-side lateral running. Still got 11.
Yeah, and I thought actually, I mean, normally you'd say get upfield, but I think he really did a pretty good job of setting up some blocks. He started to pop it outside, but then had some help and had a blocker that had a defender walled off to the outside and cut back in. And there were times there where it looked like he was going to get tackled short. Then there were times it looked like it was going to be a really big play.
Alex probably happy to be at fullback. Last week he rushed 14 times for 12 yards. He just got 12 yards on one carry. That was his quarterback last week. He's back in his normal spot. Fullback. He'll get it in on a veer right this time, and he's down to the 17-yard line. A gain of 3. Pretty good stop by Chase County there on third play coming up with this drive.
Yeah, that's one of those things a week ago where the stats maybe don't tell the whole story. He got sacked a few times and had some negative yardage plays. He had a couple of really big key bootlegs that were well blocked, and I think picked up a big first down on one of those a week ago.
2nd and 7, 7-18 on the Sandhill State Bank scoreboard here from Knights of Columbus Field. St. Pat's leading 8-0. They'll split Connor Hazenauer to the near side, ball on the right hash. She'll send Hazenauer in motion. They'll quick pitch it near side for Roberts. Fumbles the ball. It's on the ground. Chase County's right there to recover it. Roberts never got a clear catch on it, and it's going to be a turnover for St. Pat's, their 4th of the season. The second fumble lost by Roberts this year, and a turnover gives it back to Chase County.
Yeah, I think there was a little penetration there on the part of the Longhorns. Might have changed the angle of the pitch just a little bit. Might have also distracted Jackson some. I think maybe he still had a chance to catch it, but he's trying to kind of make a move around the defender as the ball's getting to him, and it just broke down there.
So the Irish give away their first turnover of the game, and Chase County at their own 17 goes back to work, and Librant, the quarterback, hands it off to his fullback. I'll assume that's Ferguson again until I can see him unpile. And I'm not sure who. Yes, it was Tristan Ferguson. He's 5'9", 200. He's not carried the ball this year, but he gets 3 yards. He's a good-looking fullback out there.
Yeah, and again, I think what the advantage that gives them is wherever they run, they can get in behind him, and he's a big, maybe their most physical guy.
This is certainly a change of offensive styles from what we saw in the first 5 games of the year. Here's a sweep right side. Bernhardt now maybe looking to throw. Pump fakes, and Jackson Roberts wasn't bit. He goes down back at the 10-yard line. Roberts stayed with him, did put his hands in the air when he pump faked, and then just took him down with both hands.
Actually, I would say Bernhardt did a pretty good job of hanging on to the ball because he was kind of cocked to throw about the time Jackson pounced on him, and he did a good job of getting that thing gathered back in, but of course it cost him a big loss.
It's a loss of 9 back to the 11-yard line halfway through quarter 1. It's 8-0 St. Pat's after their first turnover of the game. They have forced Chase County into a 3rd down and 15 here at their own 11. And again, the power I 3 backs. Front 2 go in motion to the right. They just shift. Now they'll hand it off to the middle, back up the middle. He's got a hole. Rowley to the outside. Rowley going to be about 2 yards shy. He's to the 25. It's a gain of 14. Cutting right through the heart of that Irish defense here. And it's going to be 4th down and 2. He didn't get enough. Decision time for Coach Gaswick.
Yeah, they're kind of jumping and getting offset with the 2 lead backs, offset maybe behind the guard and the tailback. Bernhardt straight up behind the quarterback, and they ran a little counter with the middle back Rowley there.
Chase County will elect to punt from their own 25. Probably a good decision. 5-10 opening quarter. Snap back to Bernhardt, and he gets this one underway. Good punt. Back is Moats. It lets it bounce, and it's going to go out of bounds. Excellent punt by Bernhardt. That one maybe caught the Irish a little. They were moving up a little bit. They'd seen shorter punts, and that one goes all the way to the 37. A solid punt without the return.
Yeah, really good job by Bernhardt to get that away. He was under some heavy pressure from Justin Schroll, and actually a teammate kind of got rolled back there right at his feet about the time he's trying to get rid of the punt, so he did a great job there.
Our scoreboard tonight brought to you by Sandhill State Bank, your financial partner in the Sandhills and the most committed brand in banking. Find them online at sandhillstate.com or stop in at 803 South Dewey, North Platte. It reads 8-0. North Platte St. Pat's with the lead. 2nd or 3rd drive of the ball game. Jack Hess goes back under center from his own 37, working left to right on your radio dial. On the power I, he'll turn, hand it off to Roberts, but not before a false start. We'll bring it back 5 yards. First penalty on the green and gold.
Yeah, so that puts them in a little bit of a hole here, but I think they just keep doing what they're doing. A lot of power run game, maybe get Jackson on the perimeter a little bit.
Good to see Hess back at quarterback, of course, for St. Pat. Still without Gavin Nutter. He's in crutches with that almost like a stretched MCL, and probably another week or two for sure, and we'll see how long. I mean, I think certainly the end goal is get him back and maybe a game before the playoffs if that's the goal, if that's the end game, and get him back close to the end of the season so he can play in the extra part of the year. 5 minutes exactly to go opening quarter. Here's first and 15. Play action. Hess looking to throw out into the flat. Caught by Hyrix 30. Hyrix can't slip the tackle. Nice open field tackle. Ryan Bernhardt pasted him down. It's a short game. Maybe one or two. Justin Schroll was out deep, and Jack took the safe option out into the flat. Didn't get much. Maybe one.
Yeah, I think Jack gave Justin a good look there, but it just felt like the angle wasn't quite right for him to get his feet set and throw it downfield to him. I mean, Justin had a little bit of separation there, but I think he made the right decision in coming out short.
Gain of 1, Heinrich's 4th catch of the year. 2nd down and 14, 4:25 opening quarter. St. Pat's 8, Chase County 0. Jackson Roberts, the deep back sweep left side for him. He's got a convoy out there. Jackson 35. Jackson cuts back to the outside 40. Got a first down 45. Down the sideline 50. Cuts back inside of the field 40. Runs over a defender down to the 39. Holding on for dear life was Cade Anderson, the safety back there. But a huge carry and a first down run for Jackson Roberts.
Really good perimeter block. There were several, but I'm going to pick out Tegan Sonneman did a fantastic job there of walling off. I think it might have been Ferguson, who we've said is maybe the Longhorns' most physical guy, and so Tegan did a good job of getting out there on the edge and getting a body on.
28-yard gain to the Chase County 39-yard line. Roberts already with 89 yards on the ground. Clock under 4 minutes to play. St. Pat's in the first quarter leading 8-0 here. I think the light rain has stopped. A little bit of wind might cool it down here. Irish run a late player on, split out to the far side. Now they'll run veer right again. Jack Hess going to keep it. Or actually, Alex Davies under center was running it, and he carries the ball down to the 31. What I missed there?
Well, the penalty is that the sub never got inside the numbers. You got to come on the field and then get back outside the numbers if that's where you want to line up. Otherwise, there's a element of deception there where you just step somebody off the sideline.
Seeing Alex Davies taking over the quarterbacking duties there. The play's negated. He's still out there, though, looking like he's going to be the quarterback here for St. Pat's. What will be a 5-yard penalty?
Yeah, Jack's over there on the sideline running up and down. Maybe might have kind of tweaked that ankle again. I don't know.
So first down and 15 here from the 44. Our roaming sideline reporter back home is Jory Torres, who's watching this on YouTube. He says looks like Jack was limping on that last play on Jackson's run. So thank you from the sidelines there, Mr. Torres.
Maybe he's like all the sideline reporters now. He's got that huge 20-foot boom mic. They're trying to talk to somebody on the sideline.
First and 15. Davies handoff. Roberts up the middle 30. Jackson Roberts to the outside 25-20, 15-10, 5 touchdown. Goodbye again. 44-yard run for the freshman. His second of the day and his first 2 rushing touchdown day of his career. St. Pat's leads 14-0.
Yeah, he gets in the open field. He's really the Dickens, and the Irish did a good job at the point of attack, giving him a little seam there, picked up a couple kind of screen blocks downfield, and then once he gets up to speed, it's pretty hard to catch up with him.
Roberts over 100 yards on the carry, and Alex Davies will be on to add the extra point. For what it's worth, Hess is out there holding this extra point. This will be the first attempt of the ball game for Alex. Last one they went for 2. It's short, and it's up, and not pretty. It's no good. Davies misses a rare extra point. I don't think anybody got a touch on that either because it was spiraling pretty good end over end, but it's only his second missed extra point of the season. We'll take a timeout. 3:13 to play in our opening quarter. St. Pat's 14, Chase County 0 on KODY. Welcome back on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM. Tanner Struckman with you. Our coverage brought to you by HD Management in North Platte. They're ready to put their half a century of experience to work for you, whether it's farm and ranch management, ag appraisals, or ag real estate sales. See Kurt Pieper, Hank Nicely, or Justin Pieper at HD Management in North Platte. Tanner Struckman, Bill O'Malley. We have a timeout to start this kickoff here. I'm not sure who took it. Looks like it was St. Pat's took an extra timeout here to give their team a little extra breather here. Leading 14-0. A pair of Jackson Roberts runs. He's at 133 rushing yards already for St. Pat's. And you said it, Bill. He's getting some big holes, and then it's tough to bring him down in open space.
Yeah, when you have a guy that's that elusive in the open field, you give him any kind of a seam. I think if you're trying to defend, you say the way to defend him is not let him really get going. You got to really do the job at the point of attack.
Which Bridgeport did a really good job for what it's worth last week against him up until that 55-yard run. But he only really had 2 big carries. It was kind of tough sledding most of the way. They've done the best job against him so far, as Roberts now he's going to be nearing 600 rushing yards in just 5 games, really about 4 1/4, not even. 3:13 to play here in the first quarter, and St. Pat's will kick off to the Longhorns, who send Bernhardt and Rowley back deep to receive this one from the Jack Hess kick, who's at his own 40-yard line. Rowley and Bernhardt will come back inside their own 10. Hess angles it to the far side. It's going to be over the head of Rowley, not bounce into the end zone. Rowley will have to go back, pick it up at the 7-yard line, cross the 8 to the 9 to the 10-year sideline. He's going to be ushered out. Pretty good return. He's able to get away from one initial hit and return it out to the 14-yard line. He did what he could. There is a flag down at the far side on the 29. And whatever this flag is, it was a long ways away from the ball, although the ball did bounce that way. The wind pushed it, though, middle of the field. I'm not sure what the flag's going to be. But
got to be a block in the back, you'd think, but I don't know that.
Just unfortunate. It's a chop block on the Longhorns here. And from the 14, they'll back this up halfway, but that's a long ways away from the action here for Chase County.
Yeah, Hunter Deeds did a great job getting down there, and then his teammates that they ran a little too straight at the ball, and he was able to escape and get out there, and give himself some room. But of course, with the penalty, they're back stuck really deep anyway.
3:08 to play in the opening quarter. Longhorns backed up with their worst field position at their own 70-yard line. Bernhardt dots the power I formation. He'll turn. That's Librant handing it off near side. It's Rowley across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Longhorns get 4. Ball might have came out. Irish saying they've got it, and they do. Fumble recovery by the Irish. Justin Schroll has it for St. Pat's.
And Justin Schroll did the whole job there. He ripped the ball loose and pulled it right back to himself. Was that Bernhardt on the carry?
It was Rowley on the carry.
Rowley on the carry kind of got turned around, and Justin's the defensive end on that side, and he kind of bear hugged him and turned him back and was able to just rip the ball loose. He fell to his backside, but he had the ball in possession when he went to the ground. That is the defender.
I saw the baggie come out from the official, and Irish immediately signaled they had it. Justin Schroll came up with the ball, his first fumble recovery of the season, and the Irish, who are now +5 in the turnover margin this season, have an opportunity to cash in another score, starting this at the Chase County 11-yard line. They'll split Hyriggs out to the far side. Pro set behind Jack Hess. They'll send Hyriggs in motion. Hess will receive it. He'll fake it twice. He'll roll left, look to throw. He's going end zone. Got a man wide open. It's Will Moats who catches it for a touchdown. Second passing touchdown of the year for the North Platte St. Pat's Irish here against Chase County. An 11-yard touchdown pass, but do we have laundry on the field? We do. At the 10-yard line, this might be coming back for the Irish. What a beautiful play drawn up, worked to a T. Jack threw that one out beautifully for Will Moats, but legal man downfield on the Irish. Boy, he didn't have to get too far downfield.
I don't know. I had some suspicion that that's what it was. I don't know what that. It was a nice play action pass, and it was a deal where Jack kind of let him clear. He let Will clear a little bit longer, And as a lineman, if you kind of forget what's going on, you can start fading down the field. I think that's probably what happened there.
Third penalty on the Irish, 15 yards, wipes out a touchdown here, leading 14-0, 2:55 to play. That's about the only negative for the Irish so far is a few early penalties. They'll go back to straight-up I formation with a wing back right in Will Motes. Ball on the right hash, 1st and 15 now from the 16. Sweep right side for Roberts, like to the edge. Jackson 15, Jackson to the 10. Jackson tackled down by the 5-yard line. Good play by Chase County there to bring him down. Number 58 on the stop. That's Jake Gurman, a returning starter on that D-line. It'll bring up now 2nd down, or did he get a first? No, it's going to be 2nd down. He needed 15. Got down to the 4, a gain of 11.
Yeah, that puts him in pretty good shape to pick up. Of course, they're going to be pretty close to the goal line if they get a first down, but they certainly have a lot of options here to go to in that tight with potentially you got 2 downs for sure and maybe 5 downs.
So 2nd down and 4 from about the 5-yard line here for the Irish power I formation. They'll give it Davies left side. Shakes off 1 tackle. He's down to the 1. He should have a first down and goal as Davies on his 3rd carry gets 4. It'll bring up 1st down and goal for St. Pat's.
Yeah, and Alex did a really good job of banging in there, but he didn't have any opportunity to extend the ball. The way he was getting tackled, he kind of got put head first into the turf.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line here. Jack Hess, for what it's worth, does not have a rushing touchdown this year. We'll see if they give number 10 a chance to sneak or not. He went out earlier, maybe tweaking his ankle. He's back out there for the Irish. He'll have Alex Davies behind him at the fullback spot. A power I, a whole host. They will run quarterback sneak. Jack Hess gets in a 2nd effort, and he's in for his score. His first rushing touchdown of the season, and St. Pat's goes up 20-0 here in the first quarter.
Of course, that's a straight-ahead deal on a little bit of a touchy ankle, but I wasn't sure if they'd give him a try. I didn't know how much they figured he'd be able to drive off that ankle, but he looked really strong pushing the ball across there.
He kind of had a 2nd effort where he just dove ahead, and a 3-play, 11-yard drive after the fumble lost puts St. Pat's up 20-0. We'll see if Davies gets a better kick here. He's only missed 2 this year, and 92% on his career. This one much better, deeper. It's up and it's in. And St. Pat's goes up 21-0 with 1:53 to play in our first quarter. This timeout brought to you by Fortify Group of North Platte. Rely on Fortify for all your insurance needs. See Kevin McGann under the bright green awning at 408 South Jeffers or call 221-6962. We're back after this timeout. St. Pat's 21-0 at home over Chase County. Hey, if you're heading out of town, take your dog to Pazzapalooza, the only doggy daycare facility in North Platte with doggy day camp and overnight boarding. Pazzapalooza is your pet's happy place. Call in advance to book and visit PazzapaloozaPlace.com for more. St. Pat's 21-0 over Chase County, $1:53 to play in the opening quarter. Hess's end-over-end kick going to be taken by Rowley at the 10-yard line across the 15, right side 20. Rowley picking his way to the 25. Then the Irish usher him out of bounds. About 4 or 5 players over there do that. Both Davies boys in there. And it's going to be Chase County at their own 25. Their 5th drive of the game so far. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and a fumble lost on their first play. They've had some running game. Chase Rowley has 23 rushing yards. Ferguson has 7, but Bernhardt, whenever he's carried, he's lost yardage. He's got -17 and haven't looked to throw yet with the new quarterback, number 15, Carter Librand, who is a wide receiver listed, had a couple catches this year. And the sophomore taking over the duties. I think they're simplifying probably the game plan for him and trying to get this offense some things for a rhythm. I formation, power I again. It's Bernhardt near side. Bernhardt trying to get the outside, gets around 1, but won't get back to the line of scrimmage. Host of defenders meet him at the 14-yard line, a loss of 1. One player got out there initially to slow him down. That helped the Irish convoy then catch up to him.
That was a really good job, and that was Connor Hazenauer out here on the near side that did a really great job of turning him back inside and then fantastic pursuit to the ball.
Now, Bernhardt had 560 rushing yards this season coming into today. All of those were as a quarterback, keep in mind, so it's a whole different ball game in what he's running for here, but he was a wide receiver last year, so he's seen about every position here on offense. They'll run it to the fullback near side, across the 25, and then met there by the Irish defense. It'll bring up 3rd down, and right at 10, I think Rowley on the carry as he gets the one back that was lost. And Chase County will have another 3rd down and 10 here with 50 seconds to play in our opening quarter.
Yeah, they've kind of yet to find something that's cracked this Irish defense thus far. And I think, you were talking about that Bernhardt was the guy that has quarterbacked them up till now. And the only pass attempt, which they never actually threw, but showed pass was on a halfback pass, and maybe that's what they do with Bernhardt back there. 3rd
down and 10. 3 backs again behind Librand. He'll turn. He'll run an option play. He'll keep it himself, and Trayton White will bear hug him, throw him back. It'll be a loss of 1 or 2. The sophomore thrown backwards, and that should end our first quarter of play. The Irish defense has come to play here. I do want to mention before we go to break, Chase County is without Dawson Mollender, a sophomore running back who's been a really good one for him this year. He's also their punter this season, and so they're without him here tonight. That's a big loss. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter. St. Pat's 21, Chase County 0 from Knights of Columbus Field. Our second quarter is coming up right after this on KODY. Here it's 21-0. North Platte St. Pat's with the lead over Chase County after 1 quarter of play. Let's take a step into the Nebraska Land National Bank Sports Desk to check on area scores. Nebraska Land National Bank, community-minded just like you. Across the way, across town, Creighton Prep leading North Platte 7-0 at the end of the first. That should be a dandy of a ball game. North Platte 4-0 on the season. McCook leading Aurora 7-6 at the end of the first. That's a good one here this evening. Hershey takes on Valentine tonight. The other district game, Gordon Rushville taking on Bridgeport, as Chase County will bring out Ryan Bernhardt to punt for the 4th time. Again, he's taken over punting duties from Dawson Mollender, a sophomore who's played a lot this year, who's out here this evening. And so, different punter. Bernhardt got a good one last time. This time he'll get one high. It's going to be catchable for Hyriggs near sideline at the 40-yard line. Hyriggs racing back. He'll hand it off to Moats. Moats on the near sideline. No one fooled. Boy, they didn't. That one probably should have been taken the other way because Moats really had about every defender on this side.
Yeah, I'm not for sure. It looked like maybe the Irish wall was on the far side, and it makes it tough when the ball gets kicked right where you want to go with it, because now all the pursuits really essentially outside of your wall, and that whole return scenario is based on trying to pin guys inside the hash. They just weren't able to do it there.
So the Irish take over at the 42-yard line. They've had a touchdown on 1 play, a fumble lost, then a touchdown on 3 plays, and a touchdown on 3 plays. We'll see where they go here. Roberts already over 100 yards as Jack Hess is under center with a wing back left and a pro set behind the junior quarterback. Ball on the left hash. And Hess will fake the handoff twice. He'll look to throw. He's going to air it up for Will Moats, who's got a step. Will Moats at the 20. Comes up with it. Touchdown. Holy cow. 58 yards for the Irish through the air. The second long passing play of the year. 58 yards from Hess to Moats. The second connection this year through the air for those two.
Yeah, really a great throw and catch, and Will showed the great speed there. He had about a step, maybe a step and a half, and Jack threw it long but with a lot of touch and really just dropped it in there where it was an easy catch for Will, and then just using his speed.
Yeah, he just threw that one up and said, I'm going to let you have some room to go grab that one, Will. Thought initially he overthrew him, but Will ran under it perfectly. Extra point upcoming. We have a penalty before the Irish can kick it. Boy, extra points have been a negative today for St. Pat's, and that's been really solid all year. This is going to be maybe a legal procedure or a false start. I don't think they'd gotten to the point where they were ready to snap it yet, but it's going to be a penalty on the Irish, and they'll back up the extra point 5 yards. Alex, in his career, 71 of 78. He's got some experience back there. So this one just a little bit further back. The wind has pretty much died down here at Knights of Columbus Field. Snap down by Hess. Kick end over end up and in. 11:41 to play. In our second quarter, St. Pat's leading Chase County here at home 28-0. A timeout. We're back right after this on KODY. Second passing touchdown of the season. North Platte St. Pat's leading 28-0. Jack Hess connecting with Will Moats, and St. Pat's has a 28-0 lead here at home against Chase County. Hess puts the end foot to the ball. Bernhardt back to his own 2-yard line. Angles to the near side. 15-yard line is Bernhardt. Stood up right after he gets past there. Trayton White will use the jersey to bring him down at the 18-yard line, and Chase County will start this drive. 11:33 to play. And for the second possession this year, or today, the Irish have a one-play drive.
Yeah, just big plays, and I think you're looking there, if you're the Irish, if you want to try to put something on film and get some experience in the pass game, the way the game's going at this particular point, a quarter or two from now you may not want to do that, but you're still early in the game here, and you get a little work in the pass game.
Librand hands it off to the fullback. That might be Ferguson, who caroms forward to the 20 before he's thrown back by that D-line. Brecken Erickson, one of them. Jackson Roberts as they unpile. And Trayton White, the senior D-lineman, leading the charge for St. Pat's. A gain of 1, maybe 2. 11-17 quarter 2. Chase County without a first down so far. Really conservative, and obviously they're a little short-handed here today, so you understand why.
Yeah.
Second down and 8. 3 backs behind Librand. Ball in the near hash. 2 come in motion. Just shift over to the left. Irish jump a little bit. No flag. Long hard count on 2nd and 8. Still no snap. Still no snap. He'll turn. He'll sweep left side for Bernhardt. Looking for the edge. Bernhardt gets out around it. He's across the 25 to the 30. First down of the ball game. He's up to the 35-yard line. And that'll give Chase County a little momentum here as 15-yard carry by Ryan Bernhardt.
Yeah, and early in the game, it was hard to get a feel for what a good runner Bernhardt is, but there you see him just get a little seam, and he hit it very quickly and got up in there. And you see also maybe how St. Pat's is wanting to defend that kind of an offset Maryland eye, for lack of a better term. They're bouncing their tackles over to that offset side.
Ball on the left hash now. Now the backs split each way, which way they move. Rowley gets a carry up the middle. He's got a nice carry across the 40 to the 42-yard line. A gain of 8 yards for Chase Rowley, who outside of a fumble has carried it for 32 yards here today on just 5 totes. And he picks up 7 on first down.
A little counter there, and with some good success for the Longhorns here. The tackles in there now are Jackson Lake along with Sam Scholes playing defensive tackle.
Second down and 3 for Chase County with Again, 3 backs behind Librand. This is as bunch of formation as you can get. Bernhardt left side, this time nowhere. Meeting him in the backfield. Trayton White slowed him up. Josh Davies came in to help finish him off. It's a loss of 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, Trayton White really smothered that play. There's a time in there when he's trying to kind of drag him down from behind. I was afraid he was going to get the back of his shoulder pads there, maybe draw a penalty, but he was able to grab onto the jersey and then get some help.
Score update from the Nebraska Land National Bank Sports Desk. Hershey trailing Valentine 12-6, 7:40 to go in the second quarter. Of course, the Irish will see those two teams at the end of the year in the regular season, weeks 8 and 9. 3rd down and 5 from their own 40-yard line. This time it's Rowley left side, Rowley to the 42, 43, bear hugged and tackled by White, and it will be 4th down and a couple. It wasn't White, it was Jackson Lake who bear hugged him and brought him down. Nice play by 61, 4th down and 2.
Yeah, you might see him go for it here. I would think this might be a point where you're out near midfield and you got a couple yards and you've had a little seam there. That was kind of a slow developing counter, and up to this point the Irish have had so much penetration. I'm really surprised they were able to get anything out of that, but they did a nice job of walling off there.
Tegan Soneman, left defensive tackle, just came in. 4th and 2 from their own 43-yard line. 8:40 second quarter. Longhorns on the 3-back formation will hand it off. It's Rowley pushing, and depends on the spot, but I think he'll get it. He needed 2, and he got about 2 1/4. It's a 1st down, Longhorns.
Yeah, and that was a deal where Tegan Soneman, who you just said came in at defensive tackle, at the Irish's left defensive tackle, the ball carrier came straight at him and kind of got under him a little bit, and so Tegan didn't really have any opportunity to kind of bend him back on the tackle and kind of ended up stretching for the 1st down.
Tristan Ferguson, the fullback, barreling forward for a couple, 3 yards before forward progress stops him at the 49-yard line. Ferguson on his 4th carry now with 12 yards. It's really been 3 players. It's been Ferguson, Bernhardt, and Rowley, those 3 backs behind Librand, who has carried it 1 time himself. And that's really all it's been for the Longhorns here today. That's a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and Librand kept it on the option that one time, and that was kind of regrettable. He got smothered pretty hard on that.
2nd and 8 from their own 48-yard line. Librand this time gives it Rowley up the middle, meets midfield, brought down there. Not much. Irish just kind of bear hugging and ushering him down to the ground. Jackson Lake again on the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 6 for the Longhorns on their 9th play of the drive.
Yeah, they're really kind of living on that counter by Rowley. That's the thing that probably they've had the most success with, albeit not big gains. They've gotten positive yardage and kept themselves in a down and distance situation where they can get the 1st down.
28-0 St. Pat, 7:20 to play, second quarter. 3rd down and 6 this time. Handoff right side for Bernhardt. He won't get anywhere. He maybe gets a half a yard across midfield to the Irish 49, but it'll be 4th down and 5. Another 4th down for the Longhorns. And the first one was 4th and 2. It was a little more manageable for what they're doing, but 4th and 5, they haven't had many 5-yard runs yet.
Yeah, and the temptation, of course, here is with the score being what it is to maybe go for it. But I think you're right with the 4th and 2 is a lot different situation than what we have going on right now.
Irish running on late, quick snap by Bernhardt, and he gets a punt out of bounds. Moats will catch it, but he's at about the 19-yard line.
They're going to get the 1st down here, I think, on the Irish. I think they had too many guys on yet.
Yeah, Irish were running on and off. I mean, they weren't even close to being ready, and Bernhardt heady play. He snapped it quick, and that's going to frustrate the Irish sideline, certainly.
Well, I think they wanted to kind of check and see if they were actually going to punt it away. And in many cases, you'd say in that situation, maybe you just go safety. Maybe just go safety punt return, would drop one guy back and stay in your defense. But for the Irish, their punt return game is such a big part of what they do offensively. You hate to pass up the opportunity to get your punt return team out there.
So the Longhorns get a 1st down after it all. It was 4th and about 5, and they give them 5. It's just enough. I mean, it is just enough to get a 1st, and it will be at the Irish 44.
One thing that makes that a little more complicated is Bernhardt being the punter. He's lining up about 8 or 9 yards behind the ball in the backfield, so you don't know if he's back there catching the punt snap or if he's back there just to run tailback.
Right. That's exactly where his tailback spot is here. Ball at the 44 now. Chase County gets their 3rd 1st down of the game, all in this drive. 1st and 10. Here they'll sweep left side for Ryan Bernhardt. To the outside. Can't get around that left side. Really good tackle out there by the Irish. Connor Hazenauer coming up again. He didn't really bring him down, but he held him up enough, and he makes him lose about 3 yards.
Really a nice play by Connor. He came across hard and just gave him nowhere to go to the outside, and definitely slowed him down and then got some help getting him on the ground.
10 carries for Bernhardt, a loss of 8, 6:13 to play in the second quarter. It's 28-0 St. Pat's. The Longhorns getting a little momentum here and at least flipping the field. Clock will tick under 6 minutes to go. Certainly the longest drive of the game for either team. Second down and 14, back to their own back to the Irish 47. There, somebody jumped on that left side, maybe the left tight end. I think jumping a little quick, and it'll bring back 5 yards for Chase County.
Yeah, maybe they kind of anticipated the snap count. That's something usually happens defensively. And maybe the snap was a little tardy. It just felt like it was a little disjointed there.
So it'll bring up now second down and about 19 back in their own territory at the 47-yard line. Longhorns, this is their 12th play of the drive. They've picked up 2 fourth down conversions, one via run, one via penalty from St. Pat's. Got a big run from Bernhardt to start this drive off. 3 backs behind. Liebrandt, the quarterback, from his own 47-yard line. Second and long, sweep right side for Bernhardt. Cuts back inside now to the far side. He'll get across the 50, and he's down to the Irish 45. He'll pick up 7 yards. It'll bring up third down and 8 or 11 or 12.
That was a tough 7 yards. He really had to work and had to break back against the grain, and the Irish did a good job of sealing it up there on the other side. It for a time there looked like he could break into the open.
So it'll bring up third down and 12 here for this Chase County. This is a down and distance that's not easy for them, that's for sure. Not what they want to be able to do here. They're going to have to hurry up here as they're taking their time. It's third down, a long 11, under 5 to play here in the second quarter. At the Irish 46-yard line, they'll run Rowley off the left side. Rowley fall forward to the 41. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down and 8 from the Irish 42-yard line here, and Chase County another decision to make.
Well, it almost makes you wonder if they intend to go for it, simply because that wasn't a play you'd expect them to pick up 12 yards on. It looks like maybe they are going to go for it, and you might see that halfback pass again.
So now fourth down and 8 here from the Irish 42-yard line. 4:23 to play in the second quarter. Liebrandt under center. He has not looked to throw yet. Hard count, long count, and a timeout taken by the Longhorns here with 4:16 to play in our second quarter. We'll take it 2 as timeout brought to you by Fortify Group of North Platte. We have 4:16 to play in our second quarter. St. Pat's leading Chase County by a score of 28-0. Tanner Struckman, Bill O'Malley. It's homecoming week here at St. Pat's, and so far it's been a good one for them. Congrats again to Logan O'Malley and Sophia Krondak, who were homecoming king and queen. They'll have a dance later on. And shout out to the Irish volleyball team. They'll have a home try with Chase County and Southwest next on Tuesday. They'll go to Brady next Thursday. We'll have that game for you on KODY. And the Irish cross-country team went to Gothenburg yesterday. Good finish, boys. Got 5th overall. Jarrett Miles leading the way with a 5th-place finish. So, solid job. They've got SPVA next week in Grant. Here's a 4th down and 8 from Chase County out of the timeout. Now they're going to go for punted, it looks like. Bernhardt, Irish sending back Moats and Heirigs late to return this. Bernhardt will punt it. It'll be bouncing in. Heirigs going to let it go. It's going to go down to the 5-yard line. Irish just couldn't get that one gobbled up to return it. Kind of a tough play there for Joe. And, boy, not taking the risk, I think it's the right decision.
I think so, too. I think, you really run a risk of making what's kind of a bad situation worse. I think, again, the temptation is always, well, we got to try to get something back. Well, in trying to get something back, sometimes you give something away too. And so they've given the Irish a really long field here, and maybe they make a stand and build build momentum that way.
Irish coming off of a 58-yard touchdown pass. They've only ran a few plays. I mean, they have 5 rushes for Roberts, 3 for Davies, 1 for Hess, and 2 passes, and that's it. There's your offense, and it's led to 28 points. Here they start at their own 5-yard line. Some of the worst field position of the year. I formation, handoff right side, it's Davies. Davies falling backwards to about the 9, maybe 10-yard line, a gain of a good 5 yards. Clock under 4 minutes to play. Good opportunity for this group here to, hey, you've got 4 minutes, still a lot of time, but if you're only going to get 3, 4, 5 yards a carry, find a little tempo maybe at some point.
Well, and I think too, you try to give kids a feel for, here's what we're going to do in this situation. We're pinned deep. We're going to give it to our biggest guy in the backfield and give us a little room, and then we'll come out and counter something after that.
2nd and 5, Hess under center. He is 2 for 2 through the air with a touchdown already. I formation, Roberts dots it. He's at his own 2. He'll pitch it near side for him. Actually, that's Will Moats across the 10. Will near sideline 15. Will ushering down the sideline 20 and finally pushed out. Good run and good job by Sonoman and Davies out there to kind of lead the charge. Will moves it up to the 22. Easily his best carry of the year.
Yeah, Teagan and Alex. Alex had his fullback spot. It looked like Landon Nichols was out there leading the way as well. So really good kind of student body left there.
Will had 8 carries for 11 yards all year. He gets 12 there and moves the chains up to the 22. Stops the clock with 3:19 to play in our second quarter. St. Pat's leading 28-0. And looking for a long drive here. Jackson Roberts, the wing back right. Does that mean counter to the near side from him? Hess under center. Hess will not, he will do that. Roberts has it near side 25. Roberts got a couple blockers, 30. Roberts 40-yard line. Roberts now puts on the Jets 50, 40. Jackson cuts back inside 35. He'll be tackled at the 30. Chase County able to chase him down, but a big carry all the way down to the Longhorn 30-yard line.
Really good pursuit there by the Longhorn defense, and it's hard to say that when you give up that long of a run, but I think it speaks to the effort level on their part as they continue to pursue, because that thing looked early on like they really had the Longhorns outnumbered.
This is coming back. There's a legal formation. There's a flag on the far sideline by the Irish. I don't think anybody had it except for the official on the far sideline, including the 4 other officials, because they had all gotten down. Besides the judge or the official that announced it, they got all the way down to the 30 of Chase County, but this is coming back, and now the Irish getting explained what happened.
Well, Jackson was the wing on that side. I don't know that this is what happened, but that's a play where he comes lateral pretty quickly after the snap. Maybe he started to lean. I don't know. I'm only speculating.
So wipe out a huge carry, which would have been 48 yards for Jackson Roberts. It would have put him near 200 yards on the game, and instead it's 1st and 15 back at the 18-yard line. Couple big plays have been taken out for this Irish offense. They'll run 1st down and 15. Clock running 2:50 here to go in our second quarter. St. Pat's backed up inside their own 20. Back to throw is Jack Hess with time. Jack sets. Going to throw far sideline. Jump ball. It's almost caught. Boy, I thought Roberts had a play on that. Bernhardt had good coverage. Good throw, though, by Jack Hess. It falls incomplete.
And I think probably Bernhardt might have got a touch on it, but that ball still dropped in where there was a possibility for Jackson to get the catch, and really another good ball by Jack Hess. No real chance for Bernhardt to pick the ball, and yet a chance with even tight coverage for Jackson maybe to come up with a difficult catch.
Hess completing 58% of his passes. He's over 200 yards passing this year, 2 touchdowns, no INTs. He throws us a pretty safe ball. I mean, really, there's not been many chances for any sort of an INT this year.
Yeah, he really gives his guys a chance to make a play on the ball, and I think that's what, particularly with a play-action heavy pass game, you got to give those guys a chance to make a play on the ball.
Irish redirecting Jackson Roberts to the left wing back position, and Coach Kevin Dodson going to take a timeout here. I think this one was taking too long. 2:41 to play, second quarter, 28-0. Irish have a 2nd and 15 coming up right after this. Welcome back here on KODY, 1240 AM, 106.1 FM. We also welcome in our viewers on our North Platte Catholic Schools YouTube page. Quick check of the Nebraska Land National Bank Sports Test. Check on area scores. Nebraska Land National Bank community-minded just like you. It is Valentine leading Hershey late in the second quarter, 19-6 in that one. The other district game is Bridgeport, of course, taking on Gordon Rushville. And while we have a moment, Coach, what a tragic moment for Bridgeport. Of course, the next morning, one of their players, a guy that you and I saw, and who played really well against St. Pat's, Joshua Warren, passed away in a car accident. And that's got to be a community that heavy hearts to play here today.
Yeah, just a super difficult situation, and I think, sheds a completely different light on what we all enjoy watching on Friday nights. Just really heartbreaking.
Here's a pass completed by Hess out to Justin Schroll. Cousin to cousin there up to the 30-yard line. That was a gain of 12 yards, and for Justin, his first reception of the year, gets a more manageable 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, and Justin's a really physical guy, and it'll be fun. Maybe sometime we'll see him with an opportunity to catch and run a little bit and show how physical he can be.
From their own 30-yard line, 3rd down and 2. Sweep left side. Irish only 21% on 3rd downs. They're not going to get this one. This ball's fumbled. It's going to be a pile as I think it was Will Motes who never got a catch on that, but Jackson Roberts, who was him, but he never got a clean catch on that. He's able to somehow get it back at his own 27. He comes up limping to add insult to injury.
Yeah, he really made a great play to get that ball back. That was a really difficult situation. Again, the same thing as happened earlier on the mishandle, in that there was some penetration across the line of scrimmage as he was trying to catch it, but he did a really great job of getting the ball back.
So the Irish will punt with Tegan Soderman, averaging 37 yards a punt. He's been really good, almost blocked. He gets through it, though, and it's going to bounce at the 37, take a Chase County bounce up to the 39. That's where Jackson Roberts will down this here for Chase County offense. A 36-yard punt for Tegan Soderman. 1:12 to play in our second quarter. That's a possession, though, I'm sure Coach not going to be happy with. I think he wanted to see his team go 95 yards there.
Well, and I understand in talking to the guys up here, I think on that long wingback reverse or wingback counter that got called back, I think they had too many guys in the backfield. I think the wideout was off the line. Really great job by Tegan. I want to say that, and a great job a week ago under some really difficult circumstances punting the ball away.
Yeah, there was kind of a competition there at punting early in the year with him and Alex Davies. I think the Irish found their guy. Tegan's done a good job. So Chase County takes over with 1:12 to play here in the second quarter, and they're redirecting players before they can get the snap off, and Coach Gaswick takes his final time out here to get this drive started off right. 1:12 to play, second quarter, St. Pat's 28, Chase County 0. We're back after this. .72 seconds away from halftime here at Knights of Columbus Field. Tanner Struckman, Bill O'Malley. Coming up at half, we'll talk with, we'll recap this first half, but we'll also talk with St. Pat's senior Samuel DeCleva, who for the second straight year, Irish put up a 36 on the ACT with one of their students. Samuel was the smart one to do that. What an impressive young man. So join us for that chat coming up at half. Chase County takes over at their own 40-yard line here with 1:12 to play. Vibrant will turn, give it Bernhardt left side, tries to get to the outside, cuts back inside. Now across the field he comes to the 44-yard line, maybe 45. He got 5. It'll bring up second down. I think Chase County probably going to let this first half, though, click off without too much of a hurry-up. I don't think they really have much of a hurry-up in their offense with the personnel that they have out there. But Bernhardt in positive territory yardage now. 12 carries for 3 yards. He had some tough negative ones that hurt him early in the game. And Longhorns using the clock here. 40 seconds to play and running away here in the second quarter. Librant from his own 44-yard line will give it to the fullback Ferguson, who just lowers the head and gets 2 to 3 up to his own 47. It'll bring up third down and 2 or 3. Clock at 27 seconds to play in our first half.
Yeah, Chase County, kind of interestingly, they have a little different way of getting play calls into the game. It's not that uncommon for all the players to have wristbands, which they do, but they've got a digital board on the sideline, which is how they signal in what to look at on that wristband.
3rd down and 2 or 3 here. Last play likely of the first half. They'll hand it off on a counter, and not much, and it'll be short of the first down, and that'll end our first half of play here from Knights of Columbus Field. Or do we have a timeout before that as we get a little windstorm come up here? And
we're getting a little flash here? Or is that our light up here? I thought I saw a flash.
It was the light. And the light definitely was flashing. Our little light was flashing. I don't think there was any lightning, but I think, I'm not sure, Irish may be calling timeout with 0.7 seconds to go, so that play did count. No. Now he's signaling 3rd down. Well, then you got to move the ball back 2 yards. Because right now it's 4.5 yard. He's signaling to St. Pat's it's 3rd down. Now there's going to have to be something figured out because Irish bringing their punt unit out for return here. But he's signaling it's 3rd down. Well, you just gave him 2 yards. It was not 3rd down and 1. It should be 3rd down and 3, and with a couple more seconds than 0.7 on the clock, right?
He keeps signaling up here 3rd down, but it's obviously not 3rd down.
Well, I think he's saying the timeout happened before.
Well, then you're going to have to get the yards back. You're right.
You're exactly right.
Well, they got to get it figured out. The near side linesman is the only one who seems to be on that page.
He might be saying 3 seconds. I'm not sure. He's putting
Gotcha. And that's very well what it is. Yeah. I'm quite sure that's what he's saying. Yeah, you're right.
He's got the wind to help him to get it to the press box. Now they put up 30 seconds. I think he wants 3. Now they've got 3, and he's good to go. All right, so they did give him the 2 yards, and it will be 4th down and 0.5 yard with 3 seconds to go at their own 49-yard line. Power ride, they'll turn, he'll give it near side Bernhardt across 50. Bernhardt will have the first down. He'll just get down to the 43-yard line, and that'll end our first half of play here between North Platte, St. Pat's, and Chase County. St. Pat's 28, Chase County 0 here at the halftime break from Knights of Columbus Field. We're going to take a break here and come back and get you our halftime show presented by the North Platte Catholic Schools Endowment. We'll get you all the numbers from this first half and how we got to 28-0. But when we return, we'll talk with St. Pat's senior Samuel DeCleva. Some impressive things that young man has done. Then we'll come back to Knights of Columbus Field. Again, your halftime score, 28-0. St. Pat's with the lead on KODY.
Adding new enclosed units that are 13 by 50 feet with a 14-foot overhead electric door. With 5 spaces left, these will go fast. Conveniently located at North Lake Road, call Casey at 532-1332 or Mike at 227-2602 to get your spot.
Welcome back on Husker Radio's Irish Intermission here. We're talking with a North Platte Catholic Schools senior in Samuel DeCleva. Samuel, how are you?
Pretty good.
I think I mispronounced your last name, didn't I?
No, you got it right.
I got it right? Okay, good. Senior year, how's that going?
It's going pretty well. I'm really liking it. There's a lot more freedom that comes with being a senior. You get to leave campus, you get a whole bunch of other stuff. Just little benefits from being a senior, I guess.
That's nice to have. Samuel DeCleva here with us, a senior at North Platte Catholic Schools. Samuel, you got the 36 on your ACT. Can I just say congratulations, because that had to feel really good.
Thank you, Tanner.
How did it feel? I mean, we talked last year, I think, and at that point you had a 35?
Yes, I had a 35 up until this summer. In July, I tested again and got the 36.
How did that feel?
Well, I had suspicions. I had to kind of wait for a little while because there were some bugs going around on the ACT website that
of course.
Yeah, they were transferring to a different website at the time, and so all of the scores went to the old website, and everyone was using the new website.
So it was a waiting game.
Yeah, so I had to wait for about 10 days after scores were supposed to be released. And I did have suspicions that I got it, but you can't be sure until scores are actually released.
I mean, I'm so far away from that. So do you feel like you didn't get anything wrong?
I feel like I missed quite a few. Well, I missed quite a few by the standards of still
being in the 36 range.
Still getting there. I missed, I think, 4 questions total.
Quite a few. 4 questions. Samuel, you and I are on a different level, buddy. I would be thrilled with, but I get what you mean. But you still felt like you were pretty darn close to that.
Yeah, I felt like I definitely knew almost all the answers.
That's got to be a good feeling, doesn't it? To go in and just go, yeah, I know these answers.
Yeah, it felt really good, actually.
I mean, it's also pretty fulfilling to know that all that hard work of probably preparing, I'm sure you've been preparing for quite a while, pays off.
Yeah, it felt really good.
36 on your ACT. So, and also the Merit Scholarship. You're a semifinalist for this. What is it?
So the National Merit Scholarship is a scholarship awarded to about 14,000 students per year, and it is for seniors who scored very well on the PSAT as a junior. And the PSAT is basically the pre-SAT exam. And so I scored in the top 1% of that, and that's how you become a semifinalist.
So where will they go from here?
I have filled out an application to be a finalist. If I'm accepted for that, then I should earn at least some scholarship.
Awesome. Samuel DeCleva here with us, Merit Scholarship semifinalist, and 36 on his ACT. That's back-to-back years for the Irish, getting 36s. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. The other one was Keegan Nitch. I always kind of had a bit of a friendly competition with him. He started out at, I think, a 33 as a sophomore, and so then I went and got a 35 as a sophomore, so he had to go get the 36. So I had to go get the 36.
There's nowhere to go from there. You guys have maxed out on how good you are. Senior year, what else are you involved in? I know you're doing cross-country right now.
Yeah, I'm heavily involved in cross-country. I'm involved in music. I'm involved in speech, drama, a whole bunch of other extracurriculars. I'm also involved in Quiz Bowl and golf. Golf's going to be this spring. I really hope we have a season.
Yeah, amen, man, amen. I got to imagine that was a bummer to not have it last year.
Yeah, we were supposed to be a really good team last year as well.
Samuel DeCleva, a senior here at North Platte Catholic Schools. All right, let's fast forward to May and maybe even next August. What's the plan?
I'm not sure where I want to go to school yet, but I do have some ideas of where to go. But there's still, no matter what my ACT score is or whatever, it's still going to be expensive if I go to any big-name schools. So I might just stay in-state.
What do you have any idea what you might want to do?
I'm thinking of majoring in data science.
What do you want to do with that?
Probably go work for a company analyzing, like, basically all the stuff that they need in order to be successful.
All right. Yeah, you seem like you got that figured out. I think you're probably qualified for it. Samuel, well, congrats on the 36. That had to be an awesome feeling. And good luck the rest of your senior year. Now you can just kind of like coast, right?
Not necessarily. There's still a lot of work I have to do.
I don't think anybody that scores a 36 ever coasts at any point. So good luck with the rest of your senior year. Good luck next year, wherever you decide to go. Congratulations again on the 36.
Thank you, Tanner.
Well, more halftime right after this.
Putting your family first.
Are you looking for the right dentist for you and your family? Phelps Family Dentistry has you covered. Dr. Lene Phelps and Dr. Kelly Hansen will make sure your family has the healthiest smile. Whether it's dental cleanings, fillings, same-day crowns, or total smile makeovers. Call our office at 534-4040 or visit us at phelpsdds.com to schedule your family's next dental appointment. And go Irish!
Putting your family first.
Like the Irish athletes, life can come at you fast and hit you hard. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call me, Marty Trushinsky, at 534-4837. And go Irish!
Thank you, North Platte, for voting Allo Communications #1 in cable provider, internet provider, and customer service in the North Platte Telegraph's Reader's Choice Awards. Our employees focused on being local, hassle-free, exceptional, and honest, giving you the best in customer service. To find out more about our business and residential services, stop by 702 East Francis in North Platte.
Welcome back on Husker Radio, KODY 1240 AM 1061 FM. Tanner Struckman with you here from Knights of Columbus Field. We're at the half. 28-0 North Platte St. Pat's with the lead. Our halftime presented by the North Platte Catholic Schools Endowment. They had the dance team out there performing. We had a little windstorm kind of pick up right here at the end of the first half, and so they had to perform with that. It's still pretty windy, as you can hear. In fact, we've got our window completely shut as much as we can because it's blowing straight from the north into our press box here, and so fans are kind of, a lot of them taking shelter here. There's not any storm chances, but it kind of feels like there should be, and it's really ushering. I mean, you could feel the wind pretty chilly out there, but again, there's really nothing on the radar as for moisture. It's all off to the east. It's just light rain. But here at the half, 28-0, St. Pat's with the lead here over Chase County. Not the cleanest first half for the Irish. I mean, I think they probably think we left some points out there. They had some turnovers at Costley, a fumble lost, and another fumble that hurt them in a couple drives, and so not the cleanest first half by the Irish, but still leading 28-0. 3 and out for Chase County to start the first half. Then the Irish had a 54-yard touchdown run by Jackson Roberts to make it 6-0. They had a 2-point conversion that they went for after Chase County had a defensive penalty, made it 8-0 2 minutes into the ball game. Chase County ensuing play, a 3 and out. Irish have a takeover at the Longhorn 32, but fumble 3 plays later. Their only turnover of the game, force another 3 and out. Then a 3-play 67-yard drive and a 44-yard touchdown run from Jackson Roberts makes it 14-0. Next play, Chase County fumbles. Justin Schroll rips it away and takes it. Irish go 3 plays, 11 yards, and score on a Jack Hess quarterback sneak. And in the first quarter, leading 21-0. They add a score on a 58-yard touchdown pass from Jack Hess to Will Motes early in the second quarter. Chase County had a 13-play drive that flipped the field completely. Irish went on 6 plays on their next drive but had to punt. Chase County ended the first half with the ball, and that's our score here at the break, 28-0. Our first half numbers are brought to you by Condon Signs. Condon's is North Platte's only locally owned full-service sign company, creating custom monument signs, pylon signs, commercial awnings, or fixing lighting issues in an existing sign. Condon's is ready to assist you, proudly serving the North Platte area for more than 25 years. Visit them on the corner of 8th and Vine or at condonsigns.com. St. Pat's on the ground, 179 rushing yards on 12 carries, 71 through the air, 250 first half yards. That's more than they've had in multiple games the entire game this year. In fact, that's the third best total for total yards in a game so far this year. Jackson Roberts, 6 carries, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a fumble lost. Alex Davies, 4 carries, 24 yards. Jack Hess, 1 carry for 1 yard and a touchdown. And Will Motes, 1 carry for 12 yards. Hess through the air, 3 of 4, 71 yards and a score. He completed a 58-yarder to Will Motes for the touchdown, a 12-yarder to Justin Schroll, and a 1-yard completion to Joe Heirigs. 1 turnover, 9 first downs, 5 penalties for 25 yards for the Irish in that first half. Meanwhile, for Chase County, they have 69 total yards, all on the ground on 29 totes, 13 carries for Ryan Bernhardt for 11 yards. Chase Rowley, 10 carries, 44 yards, and a fumble lost. 5 carries for Tristan Ferguson, 15 yards, and Leibhardt's carried at one time for a loss of 1. He has not thrown the ball in this game. 1 turnover, 3 first downs, 3 penalties for 13 yards for the Longhorns. Those are your first half numbers, brought to you by Condon Signs of North Platte. Again, here at the half, it is 28-0. St. Pat's with the lead over Chase County. We'll have more halftime coming up from Knights of Columbus after this. Welcome back here on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM. North Platte St. Pat's leading Chase County by a score of 28-0. Let's get a check of the Nebraska Land National Bank Sports Desk to check on area scores. Nebraska Land National Bank community-minded just like you. A final in 8-man Overton beating Maywood Hayes Center 29-8. North Platte at last check trailing Creighton Prep at a good one over at Bauer Field 10-7 at the half in that one. At half, Sutherland trailing Elm Creek 36-0. That's our game of the week over on KX 104 with Tristan Winder. At the half, Valentine leading Hershey by a score of 19-6. Those are two teams the Irish will see later on in the year. And, of course, the other district game tonight is Gordon-Rushville taking on Bridgeport. That game being played, I believe, in Gordon-Rushville. Haven't seen a score from that one. Mitchell and Gothenburg in a good C1 battle. Mitchell trailing Gothenburg 14-0. I believe Mitchell is undefeated, so that'd be an interesting score from Class C1. Here, 28-0 as we get ready a few minutes away from the start of our second half. Bill O'Malley, first half of big plays, some penalties, couple fumbles. It wasn't the cleanest first half. I'm sure there's some conversation on how we can make this a little bit better in the second half.
Yeah, on a couple of those fumbles, there was some penetration across the line of scrimmage wide there by the Longhorns and really disrupted both the timing and actually even maybe the flight of the ball getting out there from Jack to Jackson. And it's going to be a little tricky if the wind keeps gusting like it is right now. It might even affect a pitch, let alone a throw down the field.
It's gusty. You can hear it. It blew up some dirt from the track. It made some of the fans scatter, at least from the stands for now, as we get ready for the start of the second half. But how about temperature-wise? Is it any cooler down there?
Well, I think it did cool off a little bit. Of course, when the air's cool at all and you have this kind of wind, it makes it pretty chilly. I mean, I don't suppose the just still air temperature would be too low, but you get that kind of gusty wind, it feels pretty cool.
Hey, we're pretty lucky, right now. We're graced with the homecoming king up in the broadcast booth right now.
It's good to be king.
It's good to be king. I understand there was a little bit of a campaign around school for him and Sophia to win. I didn't know you could. I suppose you can.
Well, I guess it's an election year.
Anything goes.
Of that stuff going on. And there wasn't any bickering like we witnessed on Tuesday night, but nonetheless, that's the way the election turned out, I guess.
No negative ads or anything.
Well, and so far it's not been contested. We'll have to see how it shakes out.
All right, we'll see how it shakes out. Homecoming week here at North Platte Catholic Schools. Our second half coming up from Knights of Columbus Field. St. Pat's leading Chase County 28-0. Welcome back here on KODY, 818 Central Time. You're listening to KODY North Platte with translator K291BW North Platte and 106.1 FM. CT Computer Services, just north of Walmart in North Platte, offers tune-up Tuesdays where all in-shop services are half price. That's CT Computer Services, technology solved. Kicking off, Chase County will be doing the duties right to left in your radio dial. Morel Gerardo, the junior, will tee it up at his own 40-yard line to get this second half underway here. End over end, shorter kick, and it's going to bounce at the 10 or 15-yard line, but this is going to come back, 5-yard penalty on Chase County as they were kicking off.
Well, I think here, if you can't get one into the end zone, you're not trying. It was pretty good. The wind had been more out of the north, and it's shifted around a little bit to the east, it seems like now.
This will back him up 5 yards. That one was not going to get in on the bounce. It kind of stalled at about the 15, 10-yard line off the bounce. Gerardo will tee it up at the 35 and try again here. Irish sending Jackson Roberts, Wilmots back deep. Jackson, 5 returns this year. Hasn't had one in a couple games, though, but he's averaging 37 yards a return. He's on this near side where the wind would push it. They'll angle it to the far side, though. It will be taken by Wilmots at about the 23. Fumbles it, picks it back up, 25-30. Will big hole, 40. Bill 50 to the 40 when he'll be gone. All the way to the end zone. That is a kickoff return. Wilmots, and there is no flags. 80-yard kickoff return for Wilmots.
Yeah, and there Gerardo just hit the ball really low and it spun tight. So you had 2 problems. It didn't go very deep and it didn't go very high, and so Will was able to get it and pick up a few blocks and pop it right up the middle.
Boy, he had a hole right through the middle of that kickoff coverage, and Will housed it 80 yards. He returned one, of course, last year all the way. He had a 90-yarder against Gibbon last year. He was averaging this year 18 yards per return. That'll up now as he takes it about 80 yards for the return, and 11 seconds into the second half, Irish have 6 on the board. We had lights in the end zone. I think that's somebody just leaving. So they're taking off. They're going to kick it end over end. Angles left, but it's up and in. Maybe trying to go against the wind there was Alex. Use it, and he does. 35-0. St. Pat's with an 80-yard kickoff return by Wilmots to start up the second half. We'll back after this timeout from Knights of Columbus Field after this. .80-yard kickoff return for Wilmots, the second this year for the Irish. And here's Jack S. kicking it short. It's going to bounce at the 20, be picked up at the 18-yard line by Rowley across the 20, finds a seam himself. And Rowley almost busted that. He had a seam, but boy, Hess saved a big return. Nice tackle by Jack to bring him down at the 28-yard line, but a good return by Chase County. And they'll start their first drive of the second half with 11:41 on the clock, a 35-0 score.
Yeah, if Jack doesn't trip up Rowley, then that's just a foot race then, and I think there were a couple of Irish defenders that maybe had an angle where they could have caught him, but it'd have been a pretty long jaunt to get there.
Start at their own 28-yard line here to start this drive for Chase County here with the clock now in running mode with the 35-point rule in effect. Here's Bernhardt off the left side. Bernhardt to the 30 before he's brought down, gain of 2. Jackson Lake, Justin Schroll, Joseph Heirigs, Landon Nichols in on the stop. You see some players immediately coming on here for St. Pat's.
It looks like they're going to change out the defensive tackles. Scholes and Lake are out, and Erickson and McGill are in.
I think Will Moats came in, and Jack Hess may be done on defense, at least for the moment. Alex Davies came out as well here. 2nd and 8 from their own 30-yard line. Leibhardt will pitch left side for Bernhardt. Cuts back inside. He won't have anything. He'll lose the 2 he got. Irish met him. He tried to cut back against the grain, and Jackson Roberts was there to throw him down 3rd and 10.
Yeah, the 2 freshmen were there early. Brecken Erickson from his tackle spot, and then Jackson Roberts from that inside linebacker position.
So a 3rd down, and we'll call it 9 from their own 29-yard line. 10.5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. It'll be a quick-moving second half with the running clock. A 35-point rule in effect here after the Irish get a kickoff return, their 2nd kickoff return of the year. That was housed the first by Will Moats. 3rd down and 9 from their own 29. Leibhardt pitches right side Bernhardt. Needs a good block. He cuts inside 40. Cuts across the grain 45. Now he's on the move to the 40. And he'll finally be brought down at the 44-yard line. But it's kind of – Irish are definitely cutting off the outside edge. They've just not always been that player on the inside to bring him down.
Yeah, Bernhardt there, he's made most of his hay on the cutback and going back against the grain. Not necessarily on a design counter, but as you said, the perimeter defense has been good for the Irish, turning it back in, and then you just got to get to him a little more quickly.
15-yard gain and a 1st down. Here's Ferguson lowering his head, and he'll carry him forward for 2 or 3. Tristan Ferguson seeing his first action, at least from what I saw statistically, as a fullback. The senior listed as an offensive line, defensive lineman, and he's a good-sized fullback. 200 pounds. He got 3. His 6th carry for 18 yards.
Yeah, he got 3, and there really wasn't anything in terms of a hole. He just got his shoulders low and just drove the pile.
He kind of just that's what he does. Right when he gets the ball, he hits a wall, and then he just pushes the wall forward. 2nd down and 7 from their own 47-yard line. This time a counter off the right side for Chase Rowley. That one didn't have anything. Brecken Erickson just kind of jumped on the back of Rowley and brings him down for a loss of 1.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a tight counter or inside trap maybe, and Brecken Erickson came from the offside tackle, and oftentimes on a deal like that, that's you're kind of chasing the trapping lineman, and he was able to get in behind that play and make a nice tackle.
8:43 3rd quarter. St. Pat's leading 35-0 here at home against the Chase County Longhorns here. We have a 3rd down and a long 7. 3 backs behind Leibhardt. Sweep right side Bernhardt trying to get the edge. Trayton White makes a play back at the 42-yard line. He'll lose about 5 or 6. It'll bring up 4th down and long, number 70. Another tackle for loss.
Yeah, Bernhardt really had no chance there, and I know I say it at least once a game, but for a big guy, Trayton really runs well, and he was able to pursue Bernhardt, who's very elusive, but he never really got a chance to get his speed up before Trayton was on top of him.
See if the Irish can get a punt return. They've had one pretty good one. Joe Heyrig's had one. Bernhardt to punt this one away. It didn't go well. It went on the ground. I don't think it was blocked either. It's going to take a Chase County roll up to the 40-yard line. That's one of those kind of dangerous plays where you got to watch it. Potentially hit an Irish player. That went right through everybody. Somehow didn't touch anybody. It rolled down to the Irish 40.
Yeah, it's not really a legitimate term in football, but if there was such a thing, that was a squib punt. And, it just tumbled along the ground. It bounced before it ever got to the line of scrimmage. And you're right, that's really kind of a risky play because once it passes the line of scrimmage, if it hits a player from the return team, of course, it's a live ball again.
So to the 39 where the Irish offense will come out, and I presume you'll see some second-teamers out there for St. Pat's. I do see Will Moats and Jackson Roberts in the backfield, which looks like Alex Davies back under quarterback. He, of course, played the whole last game under quarterback, and he'll run a counter. Right side for Moats. Gets to the outside. Will trying to elude 2, and he will dive forward, get a nice dive. They won't give him that, though. He'll get tackled at the 40 for a gain of 1.
Yeah, it looks like maybe that was a counter trap, and the Irish lineman was there and got tripped up, and so then that left Jackson just one-on-one with the defensive lineman who was left for the trapping guard.
Will Moats' second carry, 13 yards. Roberts leads everybody, 6 carries for 142 yards as the wind whips here at Knights of Columbus Field. They'll sweep left side for Jackson from the 40-yard line. Jackson up the middle, 45, to the outside to the 50. Jackson sideline, 45. Flag comes in. It'll come back as he's all the way inside the 35-yard line of Chase County, but there's a flag right at the 49. I think this one's all coming back for St. Pat's. And it'll probably be 2nd down and 11 after the penalty, but we'll wait and see what the offense. A face mask on Chase County. I take that back, so tack it on to the end of the run. I didn't see that where it exactly was, but he got all the way down to the 34-yard line. So it's a first down run for Roberts of 27 yards, and they'll move it down to the 29.
Yeah, and on that, there were a number of Longhorn defenders who were engaged by Irish blockers, none more than the guy that Will Moats got on. He really made a block that's helped to spring him. But, sometimes you're in that situation to reach out and get hit.
Here's a quarterback keeper, Alex Davies, inside the 15, to the outside to the 10. Davies to the 5, still running, looking for the end zone. Davies is in. What a run. Holy cow. 28 yards for Alex Davies, and he beat everybody on the defense there for a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he had a good start, and then once he got in the open field, we've seen him make a lot of physical runs, but he really showed great agility on that run and got a nice block downfield by Justin Schroll, the right tight end, and was able to maneuver his way into the end zone.
28-yard run, and a lot of, again, hesitation, side-to-side running, but boy, and then he just put on the jets to get to the corner pylon, and now we'll be out there to add the extra point with 6:04 to go here in the third quarter. Snap down, Davies kicks this one through, up and in. Our score 42-0. This time out brought to you by Fortify Group of North Platte. Rely on Fortify for all your insurance needs. See Kevin McGann under the bright green awning at 408 South Jeffers, or call 221-6962. HG Management's ready to put their half a century of experience to work for you, whether it's farm and ranch management, ag appraisals, or ag real estate sales. See Kurt Pieper, Hank Nicely, or Justin Pieper at HG Management in North Platte. Rowley on the return up to his own 22. Runs into the back of one of his up guys and goes down at the 22. Chase County with 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter takes over, trailing 42-0 here to North Platte St. Pat's. Irish coming in 3-1, second game of the district. Look like they'll be 2-0 to start this district play.
Yeah, really good performance here by the Irish, and although there are a few errors there in the early going, they've been pretty efficient here.
So here's first down and 10 from their own 22. Leibhart will turn, give it right side Rowley across the 25, and he'll push forward to the 26-yard line, a gain of 4. 5:20 third quarter. Rowley been the most successful back so far on the ground. 12 carries, 47 yards on the ground. Does have the one fumble lost, but he gets 4.
They'll start shuffling in some kind of second-line guys. Zarek Branch is in here at the near side corner. Came in for Joe Heirigs, who's done another nice job tonight.
2nd and 6 from their own 26-yard line. 3 backs behind Leibhart. He'll turn. He'll sweep it. Left side Bernhardt to the edge. Nowhere. Zarek Branch coming in, taking the legs out. Then he had a couple teammates kind of push him back. A loss of a half a yard. 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, Zarek's pretty slight, but he stuck his nose right in there and made a nice tackle on the play.
3rd down and a long 6 here for Chase County. Bernhardt with 18 carries for 20 yards. They haven't even attempted a pass here in this game. They're a team that would throw it. Bernhardt, when he was quarterback, had 47 attempts through 5 games, 243 yards. But they have not looked to do that, of course, with Bernhardt playing tailback here today. See if he gets the tote on 3rd down and 6, 4:15 third quarter. They'll turn, give it to him right side, following his blockers, but there's nobody accounting for one of the Irish players. Landon Nichols coming in and making a tackle from behind. It'll bring a 4th down.
Yeah, Landon Nichols just really shot in there and got around around the ball carrier's legs, and he had no chance.
Update from the Nebraska Land National Bank Sports Desk. It is 10-7 Creighton Prep in the third quarter still. From Bauer Field across the way, I'm sure they're experiencing this win that we're seeing here tonight. Also, Bridgeport leading Gordon Rushville at the half, 14-0 in that one. On to punt is Bernhardt. Irish returners back at their own 45. This is a high catchable ball. Heirig's going to catch it at the 43-yard line. He'll kind of stumble. He'll fake the handoff, run to the far side looking for the wall. At the 45, Heirig's down the sideline, 40, 35. He needs one man to beat. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Joseph Heirig's 55-yard punt return for the Irish as they add a special team score again.
Yeah, Trayton White, Joe had one more guy to beat up the sideline, and Trayton recognized that and really got on his horse and got up the sideline and walled off that last defender, and Joe was able to take it untouched into the end zone.
I tell you, Irish, it may be due for a punt return. I don't think they had one. Well, they had one against, actually, at Chase County a year ago. Dolan Branch had one in that game. Special teams were big in this series a year ago. Irish had a couple big plays in special teams, and now they have a kickoff return and a punt return, both in the second half. And Joe Heirigs goes 55 yards. The extra point from Alex Davies is up and in. 3:17 to play in our third quarter. St. Pat's leading 49-0 over Chase County here on KODY. Today's scoreboard brought to you by Sandhill State Bank, your financial partner in the Sandhills and the most committed brand in banking. Find them online at sandhillstate.com or stop in at 803 South Dewey in North Platte. 55-yard punt return from Joe Heirigs makes it 49-0, and now Will Moats on to do the kicking duties. He'll pooch one. It'll be caught by one of the up back at about the 36-yard line. He'll go down there, and it will be Chase County Longhorn offense. 3:09 to play here in our third quarter. And we'll certainly see some of those second-teamers coming out again here for the Irish defense.
Two big punt returns in 2 weeks. Of course, Joe had the big punt return a week ago that set up the Irish's first score and really put them in a position to gain back some momentum and eventually win the game a week ago. And then, of course, the big one that scoring play just now.
Longhorns go back to work offensively. As Chase County, Irish going to run a player off here. They're going to get a penalty for that, and they'll hand it off fullback Ferguson across the 40. He's up to the 42-yard line. No penalty.
I think they're going to count players. They may have run off their 11th player there.
All right, well, somebody was running off in a hurry. Ferguson got 5, second down and 5.
Yeah, I think they might have only had 10 guys out there.
Well, that's one reason. That'll help the offense a little bit. Ferguson now with 7 carries, 23 yards on the ground. 2 minutes to go here in our third quarter. Creighton Prep just scored over North Platte. They lead 16-7. Here's a fullback Ferguson again. He's up to the 45. Stonewall pulling back. Irish kind of getting the arms and pulling backwards on Ferguson, who gets 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
A couple other new faces out there defensively. Look like I think maybe Nathan Moats is on the top side there at the defensive end, and on the near side defensive end, Seth Engler's out there. Tegan Sonneman's in at tackle. Matthew Phelps is in here at outside linebacker on the near side.
Here's 3rd down and 2.5 from their own 45-yard line. Under 90 seconds to play in the third. Leibhart will give it to Rowley off the right side. His second effort's going to get him off the close, and they're going to go ahead and move the sticks. They will give him the first down. And it'll be Chase County first down up to their own 48-yard line.
Yeah, just a physical punch of the ball in there, and the Irish did a good job of surrounding the ball carrier, but just couldn't keep him back from the stick.
How about Gothenburg leading Mitchell 21-0? Mitchell, one of the, I believe, undefeated out in C1 in the western side. 53 seconds to play in the third. Here's a handoff left side for Bernhardt, looking for the edge. Gets it 50, down the sideline, 45 to the 40. He'll be tackled out at the 36-yard line. Will Motes coming up to make the hit, but a nice carry for Bernhardt as he's able to get 16 yards to move the chains.
Yeah, good penetration there by Seth Engler on the near side, but then the second level defenders just allowed the ball to get outside him, had to pursue it. They did a good job of hustling after the ball, but he was able to make a nice gain.
26, or down to the 36-yard line of St. Pat's. 20 seconds to go now in this first half, for third quarter for Chase County, as they all get the sign from the digital board on the sideline, and then they all look to their wristbands for the call. You usually see that a lot in spread offenses. This is the tightest formation the Irish will see all year. Here's a handoff near side for Rowley across the 35, dives down to the 30. On the stop's Eric Branch, gain of 6. And that'll end our third quarter of play here from Knights of Columbus Field. Your score, St. Pat's 49, Chase County 0. Our fourth quarter coming up after this. Start of the fourth quarter here from Knights of Columbus Field. Tanner Struckman with you. Hope you're having a great time here. Our score 49-0. St. Pat's with the lead as the Irish defense back out there. Chase County's moved down to their Irish 30-yard line. This will be the sixth play of the drive, and it'll be second down and 4 here from the 30-yard line. Leibhart, the new quarterback, under center, will give it to his fullback Ferguson, who churns the legs, and he's right at the first down stick again. Irish do push him back, but they're going to move they might measure. No, they're going to give him the first down. Longhorns pick up their 7th first down of the game.
A few new guys in there again. Looks like Luke Ekdahl's in here at defensive end. I think Thomas Gale is in there at outside linebacker here on the near side.
So 1st and 10, Chase County to the 25 as we start up the fourth quarter here. 3 backs behind him again. Same formation almost every play. Sweep right side for Bernhardt to the outside edge. 25 cuts back inside to the 20. That's where he's brought down there. Josh Davies after a gain of 5. And this, once you get the second group out there, really what obviously you'd love to keep the goose egg out there on the scoreboard, but don't give up the big play. Make them earn it. If they're going to go down the field.
Yeah, I mean, you want to challenge those guys and you want to see them make plays, but I think, you've done what you can do with your first group. There's no point in leaving them out there. Let this group get out there and see what they can do.
Second down and 5 from the Irish 20-yard line. Here's a dive play. Rowley off the right side. Nice hit right at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him 2, but a nice play on that D line by the Irish. Isn't Jackson Lake a part of that?
Yeah, Jackson Lake made the primary hit there.
Luke Ekdahl was in there too to bring up 3rd down and 4 after the short gain of 2.
Yeah, they're hanging right in there because this is a pretty physical backfield here with the Longhorns. The biggest issue they've had is getting any kind of a seam right at the point of attack.
Rowley a little shaken up after that run. He'll stay in there as the middle back of this 3-back formation behind the quarterback here today, Carter Leibrandt. I think I said Leibhart a few times. I apologize. It's Leibrandt. There is Leibhardt. Here's a handoff. It's Ferguson bumbling forward down to the 10. He nearly housed that. Got all the way down to the 9-yard line. It's a gain of 9 for Ferguson, who moves the chains.
Yeah, and you're right. That was the perfect call. Bumbling, stumbling. He gets his shoulders so low, there wasn't as much traffic as he's been accustomed to all night, and he just couldn't quite keep his feet.
Got down to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, Longhorns. They'll give it Ferguson again, who turns the legs down to the 6. That's where the Irish stood him up and bring him back. It takes a host to bring number 61 down. He'll be able to get 3. 2nd and goal.
And the Irish, number 61, their primary guy on the tackle, Jackson Lake, along with Sawyer McGill.
So 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line here for Chase County. This is the 11th play of this drive, so they have made him earn it. And this drive started with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, and we're now going to be under 9 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. 2nd and goal from the 6. Leibrandt under center. 2 backs move to the left in the 3-back formation. They'll sweep that way for Bernhardt, looking for the outside edge. He'll look for Pater to the 5, to the 4, to the 3, to the 2, to the 1. Touchdown. It'll go to Ryan Bernhardt for the score. His 5th rushing touchdown of the year, and Chase County's on the board.
Yeah, just good speed there on the part of Bernhardt. They were just kind of able to outflank the Irish defense.
So Longhorns finish off an 11-play, 63-yard drive. And again, the Irish fans, you made them earn it. You made them go 11 plays.
Sure, they got him tackled up, and again, that's a pretty physical backfield, and you get some guys out there that did a nice job of really battling and getting some of those inside runs on the ground there. They were just able to, as I said, kind of get to the outside and use Bernhardt's really good speed to score it.
We got a flag here before anything happened. There's a flag right behind the line, right at the line of scrimmage, and now Chase County's going to take a timeout on the extra point. That is a flag. No, that was the ball. I just thought it was a ball. I mean, I'm not sure. You can get a delay a game on an extra point, right?
Sure, and I think that's probably what happened. I think they just took the timeout to avoid a delay, and Rowley's really hobbling around out there. They may have looked at that and thought they needed to get him out of there. You said it on the last carry he had. I think he got tackled maybe there by Luke Ekdahl and maybe Jackson Lake, and he came up hobbling a little bit and really hasn't been able to. He's been trying to loosen that up and walk it off, but I don't know if it's a knee or ankle, but he's still not moving very well.
Horns will have the extra point here in a moment, trailing 49-6 here at this point. Next up for Chase County, they will have a home game against Hershey next week. And St. Pat's, of course, have a home game against Gordon Rushville, who at last check was trailing 14-0.
Correct.
To Bridgeport. I know the 3rd quarter score was Hershey trailing to
Valentine.
There you go. And I don't have the score in front of me now. I had it a second ago. Here they're going to go for 2, and I think it's Ferguson, and he's in. 2-point conversion is good for Chase County. 8:57 to go in the game. Our score, 49-8. We're back after this. Hey, Pausapalooza's North Platte's only doggy daycare facility. Bring your dog to play with other dogs for the day or let them stay for overnight boarding at the Red Roof Building on Halligan Drive. It's your pet's happy place. Tanner Struckman back here with Bill O'Malley. 8:57 to play here in the 4th quarter. Irish going to get the ball back here as Dorado tees it up at the 40-yard line. Kick a low end-over-end kick, taken at the 22 by Moats, across the 25 to the 30. 35, Moats picking his way to the 40. Moats to the outside. Moats sleeps one more tackle to the 50, gets a face mask, and he takes it all the way down to the Chase County 47-yard line. Big return by Will Moats, and there's going to be a penalty flag with a face mask in there as well to tack on.
Yeah, both officials threw the flag, and I think it is a face mask. It really was kind of a helmet gear thing. It almost looked like he had his fingers under the back of Will's helmet there.
We'll see if it's the 5-yard variety. It is. Chase County committing their 5th penalty of the game for 23 yards. Irish will have the ball at their own at the Chase County 42-yard line here. With 8:40 on the clock and running, 49-8 leading here. And we'll see the second teamer out there. Josh Davies quarterbacking in that backfield.
Looks like
Zarek Branch the deep batch. I know that. Trying to catch the other two. They'll give it. Zarek near side. Gets to the outside. 45 to the 40. Zarek Branch to the 30-yard line and tackled by an ankle. Nice play to hold him up by Anderson. But a big carry of 12 yards for Zarek Branch, his first of the day.
Yeah, and he was being led there. I think it was Thomas Gale and James Hyriggs in the backfield. It looks like Cash Kemp's in there at one of the tight end spots. And then we got Sam Trushinsky coming in here, I think probably at receiver. He also plays quarterback, but I think he might be their slot receiver in this case.
Zarek had one carry against Centura for a yard, gets 12 there. And the Irish come out back to the 30-yard line at Chase County. Josh Davies quarterbacking here for the green and gold. They'll run a quick pitch dive. No, quarterback keeper for Davies to the 25. That by design?
I think maybe that was an inside trap, and it looked like the timing was off a little bit, and Thomas Gale, who would have been the guy to give to, had already kind of passed Josh up, and if it was an adjustment on Josh's part, it was an excellent one because
Right.
he recognized just pull that thing down and go, and he has a nice burst of speed. I think anybody who's seen the JV group play has witnessed that, but he showed a good burst there.
His first carry of the year, and he gets 5. Under 7 to play here after this play. Branch off the right side from the 25 down to the 20. Tackled at the 19-yard line. First down carry for Zarek Branch for North Platte St. Pat's. And they'll move it down inside the 20, under 7 to go.
Hunter Deeds in there at tight end. It looks like Ben Melton's in there probably at guard, I believe. I didn't catch where he was lined up. It looks like Kai Brown just came in with the play. I would imagine he's playing that slot receiver, Z receiver position.
First and 10 from the 19-yard line here of Chase County for the second group out there on the offensive end. Davies will give it to the fullback up the middle. Big carry, 15, down to the 10-yard line, down to the 5. It'll be first and goal.
Thomas Gale there.
Nice carry. Of course, a brother carried a whole lot of the ball carries a year ago, and Thomas getting his first tote here of this game takes it down to the 5. It's first and goal off the 14-yard carry.
Yeah, really nice job there by Thomas, and a good job by that Irish front.
Gale came in on the year with 1 carry for 6 yards, 14 there. Clock under 6 minutes to play. Another first down for this group, who's moved down to first down and goal. So it's Gale, who's the middle back on that. James Hyriggs.
James Hyriggs, yep.
And then you have Zarek Branch in the power eye. He dots it. Turning is Davies. He'll give it to Gale. Up the middle, up and in. He's in for a touchdown. St. Pat scores from 5 yards out.
Yeah, really, really good job there by that group. They came in and just marched it right down the field. Were able to do 2 or 3 different things. Got Zarek Branch in the open field a couple times. Thomas popped it up inside really well a time or two. And then, of course, kind of on that, what we're calling a broken play, Josh Davies made a nice gain on it.
So a 5-play, 42-yard drive by this group. And now Will Moats on to add the extra point. For St. Pat's, leading 55-8. Certainly the best offensive game. It's going to be blocked. Blocked by Chase County. Coming right up the middle was Gerardo. He had a pretty much untouched, went right through and slammed it down. And our score will remain 55-8 with 5:40 to go. We're back after this timeout. You're listening to High School Football on KODY. Welcome back on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM. Tanner Struckman, Bill O'Malley here as we have 5:40 on the clock. St. Pat's on homecoming night. Going to get a big homecoming win, improve to 4-1. They lead Chase County 55-8. Will Moats will tee it up here for St. Pat's, and easy to dance when you got a nice victory underneath your belt. Moats will kick it end over end. It's going to be caught at the 17-yard line by the Longhorns, 25-30, and Anderson on the return all the way down to the 33, up to the 33-yard line, I should say.
Matthew Phelps on the stop there. He had a really nice play. I know I'm referencing the JV ball game the other night, but he did a really nice job of getting down there. He tried to tackle the ball. He had an experience on Monday where he was able to get down first on the coverage and tackle the ball and actually rip the ball loose, kind of got a little bit what we saw from Justin Schroll here in the first half.
So Chase County takes over at their own 33-yard line here with 5:06 to go, and a flag comes in before as they hand it off to Bernhardt near side. He gets to the outside edge, and he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6 as it stands. A flag came from the back judge behind the Irish defense here.
In a spot for a block in the back or hold, but I don't know if that's what it is or not.
Came in quick, too. 12 men on the field for St. Pat's.
Yeah. I don't know if they ran a guy off late, but that's tricky. I know that frustrates coaches, but at the same time, you're running guys out there and you're trying to get them to call out who they're subbing for, and that doesn't always happen as efficiently as it needs to. And everybody's excited to get out there and stay out there, so sometimes you don't get the prerequisite number of guys on the field.
Had a 10-yard penalty.
Should have been 5, but I don't know. Well, I
at the 49, Ferguson gets the carry. Ball comes out, and the Irish are right there to gobble it up at their own 49. Ball came out off Ferguson, and the Irish recover it. And on the recovery for St. Pat's, let's give a shout-out to another High-Rigs. James High-Rigs, the freshman, with the recovery.
I think Thomas Gale popped the ball loose, and then James was able to pounce on it. And I think the difference there was it wasn't a substitution issue. It was actually a participation issue.
Okay.
If you have an extra guy out there, and so that penalty is different if you have 12 guys actively participating in the play.
Trying to de-incentivize teams from putting with 12 people out there and giving up, just running the risk of giving up 5.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Beat them with numbers.
So the Irish take over at their own 49-yard line here. 1st and 10 after the fumble loss. Sam Trzynski quarterbacking, hand it off right side for Branch. He gets bear hugged and thrown down for a gain of 1 second and 9, 4:19 to go in this one. That's only the second turnover of the game for Chase County. Tonight, and you mentioned it, Johnny on the spot was James High-Rigs. He saw that one right away and dove right on it.
Yeah. Jaden Klein in there, I think, now at tight end as well, and it looks like Kai Brown's in there at Z receiver or wingback.
Score update: Prep still leading Bulldogs of North Platte 17-7. That game is in the 4th quarter there. Bulldogs trying to hold on to an undefeated record. Ball right at midfield, 2nd and 9. This time Trzynski sweeps right side. High-Rigs with it across the 50. Slips one tackle to the outside. James will get 2. Long 2. He had to run a ways to get to that. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, he does a good job of really struggling and fighting for yardage there. He got his hand out, he's stiff-arming people, and he did a nice job of navigating up there. That was a play that could have turned out worse, but he made the most of it.
James, one of those guys that makes you feel old for me, because I remember interviewing him when he was probably 5th, 4th grade, somewhere around there. He was a great interview as a youngster, and now he's up there as a freshman.
I can assure you he'd still be a fun interview today.
3:09 to go here in this fourth quarter. Ball at the 48 at Chase County, 3rd and 8. Trzynski hands it off. Fullback has it. He'll carry him forward to the 44-yard line. Number as they umpile.
I think it's Bright Thomas again.
Yep, it is. And it'll bring up 4th down and about 3.5.
Kind of interesting. I guess we always compare siblings a little bit. That's just our nature, but a very different style of runner than his brother. Thomas is more of a straight ahead, shoulders down runner. And, of course, Charlie was a really elusive change of direction guy.
4th and 4 at the Chase County 44. Irish will bring out the offense. 2:26 to go. See if they can get a first down. Power I behind Trushinsky, quarterbacking here for St. Pat's. The freshman hard counts. Chase County. Oh, no, he doesn't. Now he gets him set. He'll run the fullback. It's Gale. Gale going to fight, but he's going to be a yard shy. Got a good carry of 2 or 3, but won't quite get it. But a good hard run by Thomas Gale. And it'll bring up a turnover on down to 2:04 to go.
Yep. So not a bad showing there by the offense again, and they're getting some different guys carries. Although there was the one substitution problem there, for the most part, they've really done a nice job of getting people in and out, getting a lot of people involved, and giving these guys an opportunity to get out there and play on homecoming night.
Chase County will have a couple plays here with 1:38 to go from their own 43-yard line. 1st and 10, they'll give it. Bernhardt off the near side. Bernhardt slips one at the 45, dives up to the 48-yard line, 49. Gain of 6 on the play. And how about this JV group? I know it's been a really successful program on the JV side. Been another good year?
Yeah, they've done a great job, and they've really been pretty efficient. They've been pretty stout defensively and really good offensively with some explosive plays. Jaden Klein on that previous play with a really nice job of turning the ball in.
Here's 2nd and 4. They give it to the fullback, who's down a yard shy into Irish territory to the 48. Ferguson on the carry. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1. The D-line just kind of bear hugs him and brings him down.
Yeah, Ben Melton at the bottom of that pile, and he's a big freshman, and I know the guys have a lot of high hopes for him going forward.
There's 3rd and 1 from the Irish 49, 40 seconds to go. It's going to be a quarterback keeper out on a quarterback boot to the near sideline. Down the sideline picking his way is the new quarterback for Chase County, Easton Fries, 5'9", 125-pound freshman.
Yeah, that was a nice run. There wasn't much there, but he just kind of stayed right in behind his blockers and was able to make a gain out of it.
He got himself 7 yards. And a first down for the Longhorns with 14 seconds to go. This will be their last play likely of the game. 10 seconds to go. Under center, they'll give it fullback. It's Ferguson. He'll push the pile inside the 40 to the 36, and that'll close this one out. Here from Knights of Columbus Field, your final. North Platte St. Pat's gets the victory over Chase County, 55-8. Our quick stop post-game show begins from Knights of Columbus Field after this. Welcome back to Knights of Columbus Field here on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM. A final. North Platte St. Pat's gets the victory by a score of 55-8. Irish improved to 4-1 on the year as Chase County drops to 0-6. Our postgame today brought to you by Quick Stop, just around every corner. Fast, easy, and convenient with 6 locations throughout North Platte. Also locations in Ogallala, Hershey, Grant, and Imperial. On the road to everywhere, it's Quick Stop. Of course, brand new location in my hometown in Brule that just opened up last week. Bill O'Malley, good win for the Irish. Took care of business here today, 55-8, pretty much all around. Kickoff return, punt return for a score. I think we're going to have Coach Braithwaite joining us. He's going to be a happy guy, but all around, a lot to like.
I think if you're the Irish, you'd have to feel like you accomplished about everything that you could tonight. I think just a lot of really positive things. Defensively, they were obviously really stout, and as you summarize there, they were able to do a lot of different things to score the ball. They pushed the ball down the field on a couple throws. They were able to run some counter, run some sweep, which is a real strength of Jackson Roberts. And then of course in the special teams game they did a great job. And so I think and I think the other thing you have to look at is that although it's been kind of a tough season for the Longhorns, they've been highly competitive in 4 of their 5 previous games, and so for the Irish to come out and really be efficient here tonight, I think was impressive.
St. Pat's wins it again by a final 55-8 and 4-1, and this is one of those games, especially on homecoming week. You never know the focus. I thought the focus right from the get-go was there, certainly.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, too, is you don't know how you're going to play off of a really emotional, hard-fought game on the road a week ago. There was a lot that went into that and a lot of emphasis that went into that game in kind of anticipation of a really difficult game, and they were able to the Irish were able to rise to the occasion and get a big win. And then you don't know how you come back from that. Oftentimes the hardest game to prepare for is after you've really played an emotional, hard-fought win.
Again, your final 55-8, St. Pat's with the victory. Coach, we'll see you next Friday.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tanner.
Well, Brad Braithwaite here joining us on the postgame. Again, is the final 55-8. St. Pat's improves to 4-1 on the year. Chilly outside, or is it football weather?
Oh, it was perfect football weather. That was fun second half. The wind got going a little too much, but other than that, it was pretty nice.
Really picked up on you there. But let's talk with Coach. It's homecoming week, and you wonder about distractions, and this team seemed pretty motivated from the get-go. I mean, some things in the first half. I'm sure you'd like to clean up a few silly penalties that you didn't want, and some fumbles. But overall, this was a pretty complete game.
It really was. Us coaches were nervous all week for a couple of reasons. You hit the nail on the head. Homecoming week always makes football coaches nervous, just with all the distractions. Coming off of a big, hard-fought win last week.
Right.
But, yeah, our kids came out, and we challenged them to play all 3 phases and win all 3 phases, and I feel like we did that.
Without a doubt. Let's start with where you coach, special teams. I mean, extra points were a little sketchy, but, boy, you cover up that with a kickoff return, a punt return. Yet another long punt return that was maybe one play away from going all the way. Lot to like there.
Yeah, first half we did have a couple of gaffes on our PAT team. We had a missed kick, and we kind of had let some leakage through, on one side of our line. But overall, I thought our coverage units were really good again, especially on kickoff team. And then, yeah, it was nice to see us take a few back on our return game tonight.
Your eyes have got to light up when you're able to get a punt that's in the air, hangs up that way, let your guys kind of set that wall. I'm sure you're thinking, here we go.
Yeah, we really are. We tell our guys all the time, if they can catch the ball in the air, we feel like we have a shot to score. Our wall looked extremely good tonight. We were disciplined on our wall with no blindside hits, and we just really executed that part of the game really well. It was fun to see.
This is a team that it's such a different, offensive team from years past. I mean, usually you're 10 to 12 plays a drive, and you're grinding out some long 80-yard drives that finish with a 3-yard run. Some big plays in this team. I mean, Jackson Roberts had obviously his runs. Yeah, the big pass play has been there a couple times this year, and heck, Alex had a really nice run for a touchdown. I mean, this is a big play offense.
It really is. Like you said, it's the antithesis of last season when we were grinding it out, and they're both effective, but it's sure nice to have. We probably have 4 or 5 guys that we feel like can go 80, 90 yards on any given touch, and we had a couple do that tonight, and they were both young guys that had our big long runs, so that was nice to see, and then Alex capping off of a couple drives as well.
Obviously, it was maybe a different offense than what you were expecting.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
How many times do you see that?
We hadn't seen any of that. I know their JV does some of that, but we've seen all doubles and spread and shotgun, and they came out and went double tight Maryland eye on us tonight. So our kids did a good job of adjusting to it.
55-8, St. Pat's with the win, 4-1. Gordon Rushville next week. They dropped one to Bridgeport, 28-0 tonight. You know how good Bridgeport is, so got to be ready. I mean, these are the games where obviously this was a great opportunity. Before we get to that game, talk about these young guys because they went and scored a touchdown. Chase County scored on them, but made them go 11 plays.
No, we did. Our young kids did a nice job there towards the end. It's always nice to get those kids in on Friday nights. They work so hard during the week. So it was nice for them to get rewarded, and I thought we did a good job all the way through.
Healthy out of this game, too? Those are always the concerns in games like this.
I think we're as healthy as we can be, so yeah.
Next week, Gordon Rushville. Talk about them.
We know they're going to be a physical football team. We were interested in that score, that Bridgeport score tonight. That was a little closer than we were hoping for. So we're going to have our hands full. We'll have to be ready to play another district opponent. So we're excited to play on Knights of Columbus Field again.
55-8 the final. Brad Braithwaite, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Have yourself a good evening.
You bet. Thanks, Tanner. And hey, I'm glad Jory Torres is feeling a lot better, too. So if he's listening, good for you, Jory.
He sure is. He was our sideline reporter giving us some updates from the YouTube stream here. It's getting your final 55-8 St. Pat's with the victory over Chase County here in this one. Your postgame again brought to you by Quick Stop, just around every corner, fast, easy, and convenient with 6 locations throughout North Platte. Also locations in Ogallala, Hershey, Grant, and Imperial. On the road to everywhere, it is Quick Stop. Irish jumped out with a 6-0 lead pretty much right away. They forced a 3-and-out from Chase County. Then Jackson Roberts went 54 yards for a touchdown. They got a 2-point conversion to make it 8-0. They fumbled on their Irish's next drive, but 3 straight 3-and-outs defensively. Then Jackson Roberts, a 44-yard touchdown run with 3:08 to go in the first quarter, made it 14-0, but the Irish weren't done in the first quarter. Next play for Chase County is a fumble lost on their first carry of the drive. 3 plays later, Jack Hess has a QB sneak for a score. Irish add a score early in the second quarter on a 58-yard touchdown pass from Jack Hess to Will Moats to make it 28-0 at the half. They start the second half with a kickoff return. Will Moats goes 80 yards. They stop him defensively, then get a 3-play, 61-yard drive where Alex Davies has a beautiful 28-yard touchdown run to make it 42-0. Joe Hyriggs returns a punt 55 yards a little bit later to make it 49-0. Chase County got on the board on an 11-play, 63-yard drive. Ryan Bernhardt capped it off with a 6-yard touchdown run to make it 49-8. And then the Irish second group out there gets a 5-play, 42-yard drive with a Thomas Gale touchdown run of 5 yards to make it 55-8. And that is your final here this evening. Let's get post-game numbers. They're brought to you by Condon Signs of North Platte. Condon is North Platte's only locally owned full-service sign company, creating custom monument signs, pylon signs, commercial awnings, or fixing lighting issues in an existing sign. Condon is ready to assist you. Proudly serving the North Platte area for more than 25 years. Visit them on the corner of 8th and Vine or at condonsigns.com. For St. Pat's, 356 total yards here in this game. That ranks as their best offensive game of the year. 285 rushing yards. That'll go down easily as their best on just 24 carries. Factor up that average, and that's a big game on the ground here today. That's an average of 11.9 yards per carry. 71 passing yards, again finished with 356. Individually, Jackson Roberts, 7 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, did have a fumble lost. 5 carries for Alex Davies, 52 yards and a score. 4 for Thomas Gale, 25 yards and a score. 3 for Zarek Branch, 19 yards. 2 for Will Moats, 13 yards. Jack Hess with a 1-yard touchdown run. You had a 5-yard carry by Josh Davies and a 2-yard carry by James Hyriggs. Jack Hess through the air, 3 of 4, 71 yards and a score. He had a 58-yard touchdown to Will Moats. He had a 12-yard completion to James Stroll and a 1-yard completion to Joe Hyriggs. 1 turnover, 14 first downs for the Irish, 6 penalties for 35 yards in this one. For Chase County, 170 total yards, all on the ground. They were led by Ryan Bernhardt, who went 23 carries, 53 yards today. Chase Rowley, 16 carries, 61 yards, and a fumble lost. And Ferguson went 13 carries for 50 yards and a fumble lost. Leibhart got a carry, and Kate Anderson got a carry as well. No passing, 2 turnovers, 10 first downs, and 5 penalties for 23 yards for the Longhorns. Those again your postgame numbers brought to you by Condon Signs of North Platte. Here as the final goes 55-8 again. St. Pat's with the victory. Irish now 4-1. Chase County will now get ready for their 0-6. They'll play at home against Hershey next week. St. Pat's will host Gordon Rushville here at Knights of Columbus Field next Friday night. And there were a lot of big moments of this one. Certainly a lot of opportunities for a Swift Auto Center play of the game today. One stood out, though, whenever the Irish can get a passing play through the air for a touchdown on a long passing play. It's got to be your Swift Auto Center play of the game. Second touchdown thrown by Jack Hess. Both got to Will Moats and a 58-yard touchdown pass. Our Swift Auto Center play of the game. Let's go ahead and name our player of the game now to wrap it up. It's brought to you by the Telecom Home Team, Allo Communications. Allo is taking tech to the next level with products and services that provide their fiber fans with an all-star experience. If you're ready to up your internet game, go to allocommunications.com and get Allo today. I'm going to go with Will Moats. Will, obviously the big kickoff return, or he had the 58-yard touchdown reception. He also had 2 carries, 13 yards, and an 80-yard kickoff return for a score. So Will Moats going to be our Allo Fiber player of the game today with a pair of touchdowns for North Platte St. Pat's. Well, again, we're next on the air next Thursday. We'll be in Brady to bring you St. Pat's volleyball as they get ready to take on Brady Eagles Thursday night. That game can be heard again on KODY. And then next Friday night, St. Pat's back at home. They'll take on the Gordon Rushville Mustangs here from Knights of Columbus Field. Gordon Rushville fell earlier to Bridgeport this evening by a final of 28-0. Gordon Rushville will enter then 2-4 next Friday night. So make sure you join us for that one. We thank all our viewers that were on our YouTube page for North Platte Catholic Schools and everyone that listened on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM. I'm Tanner Struckman saying so long from Knights of Columbus Field. Again, your final 55-8. St. Pat's gets the victory. Have a great night on your Friday evening.